Yeah. Well, good evening, good evening, good evening. Welcome, folks. This is Your Ass Hurts News Network. Your host, Sergeant Friday. I gotta flugger some stuff out here with the mouse. The click, 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 click stuff. Yes, sir. There we go. We are going to open up. There it is. We opened up X, and I will welcome the X viewers. Apparently, there's one there, and I think it's me looking right back at myself. Can you imagine? Turn the volume off there. I got to turn the volume off on all these sites for whatever reason. They uh, they somehow they have their volume pumped up. I don't know what the deal is, but it is what it is. What it is. What it is. So what's going on? We're gonna have a call-in show. I threw a couple of titles out there: hashtag Idaho, hashtag Trump, hashtag whatever. But I figure, because the audience is generally hang out. We gotta get into the comments. I put in there hi, knowing that I figure we can call in 585-454-9932. Good evening, hummingbird moth. That's just a strange human bird moth. You're Mothman. We've located Mothman. Apparently, Mothman is technologically competent and able to communicate across the inner wire of the interwebs, the webs of inner. Yeah, I think Illuminati stream is still going, so I didn't even try to bother Cletus. Cletus is not with us yet, or he may not even be with us tonight for all we know. He's on a hiatus because I think he's got something up his high asshole. Anyway, so good evening, good evening, good evening. We got 15 folks, people just dripping in, coming in slowly. 18 people, drip, drip, drip. Thank you, Knots. Ty Knots, what's up? Ty Knots, they say. That's what, what up there, Grant? He's happily offended. We love to offend people. Nothing wrong with being offended. Offended is, big deal. You just get over it, right? Oh my God, you have to address me by my pronoun. No, I don't have to address you by shit, honey. Let's see. How's the dental situation? I'm glad you asked. Now I'm going to ask people a couple of questions about that. We got a few of you in here, but since you asked, human bird mouth, morning, Mark, Betty. They're charging me $1,200 to clean my teeth. I did half of them now. They say there's tartar buildup. Something about getting under the tooth, and I don't know. I was like, all right, here, go ahead. But tomorrow morning, I have a place for an implant specialist, and that's what the company does. They offer implants and or permanent type dentures or all kinds of different options. But good news, I thought I had 3 or 4 teeth on the right side of my mouth that were going to get one for sure. But then I thought there might be 3 or 4 more they may find suspect and want to change. But apparently, they definitely qualify for fillings. So I've got 4 fillings I need. I need 1 tooth pulled and replaced on the right side. And that's where the 4 fillings are needed. And on the left side, I've got 3 teeth that are missing. And I don't know how they're going to handle that. That's why I'm going to this company tomorrow at 1 o'clock. We'll see what they decide. So, yeah, I'm going to need 4 or less when it comes to tooth replacement, which is fantastic. And I just think, to be very honest with you, these people did a full mouth X-ray. Then they did an X-ray of every single tooth, and they measured this, and they did all kinds of shit in the first exam, and charged me $80. And I'm thinking, there's no way all of that work can be $80. I wouldn't turn on my X-ray machine for $80. Well, I think that they catch you when it comes to when you come back to get your teeth cleaned. They just stick it to you. They're getting $379 for a filling. I just think that's patently outrageous, or more than $350 per filling. And I'm thinking that's just crazy amount of money for a filling, but it is what it is. And what are you going to do? They want $5,000 per tooth, and I'm not going to let these people I'm not going to do that. I'm not paying these people $5,000. Like I said, I'm going to a different business tomorrow, and I've already told them that. I said, you guys are charging me $1,200 to clean my teeth. When I leave here, my teeth should be so white that they fucking blind oncoming traffic. And based on what I've seen you done on the first half, that's not the case. I said, so, okay, whatever. I said, and then the fillings, you're charging me so much for fillings. I don't even know, man. I just feel like I'm being dogged for the money. But it is what it is, right? I figure I'll just pay the piper and move on with my damn life. Feel free, folks. This can be an open floor, open format, open panel, 585-454-9932. Okay, present. Where is, let me see here. There you go. Copy. I can put this in there. You're welcome to come up through StreamYard. I know Twiz may be around, but he probably won't come up. A lot of these tough guys come in here and I don't even know. I don't think, I don't know. I don't know what to say. Where's Carl been? What happened to Carl? The queen of the 5.63 billion. You guys chased poor Carl out of here. He actually came in and talked live, and the next thing you know, he's vanished. I was listening to Get It today. Get a clue. Who is now Murphy Knows All. Yeah, I think it'll be fine. It'll be fine. The only, I don't know. I'm trying to be reasonable on their cleaning stuff because they did. I think that they did in the beginning all the things that they did. It took them. Christ, I was there an hour and a half or more for them to X-ray every tooth, for them to do a full makeup. Then the full mouth. Then they also did impressions where you got to bite into that tasteless fucking crap to get impressions of all your teeth. They made that mold. What else did they do? I don't know, but it was a whole big workup. And when they said $84, I thought, yeah, okay, there's something ain't right with that. But then I thought, well, maybe that'll be fucking indicative of their future pricing. And no, that wasn't true. Yep, I had some thoughts. They were all wrong. But I think that'll all work out just fine. I have it done before the season reopens and the company comes back online. So I should have that all done. And what else? What else? Really nothing. There's really nothing much more to say about the Idaho 4. I think we're all caught up on that. I think the streamers that pay attention to the case itself and not the flippant fucking fool, fucking moron idiots that are trying to solve it, I think those paying attention to the case are all. And there's some of us out here. I binge watched Murphy today. Yeah, I like his perspective too. I don't. And he's got a lot in common with me in a different kind of a way. Sergeant, I'm 56. Fuck them. That tell you need new teeth. It's all no. I got a couple of missing teeth, Mark. I've got 1, 2, 3, and I've got one that needs to be pulled. It broke a long time ago, and I've been filling it myself. And I really don't have any issue with it. I mean, it's fucked up almost down to the gum line. That ain't being fixed. That needs to be pulled and replaced. The other 3 are questionable because I may not need a dental implant, but if I do, it'll be those 4, and the rest of them need to be filled. And I brush my teeth 4 or 5 times a day, but I also drink coffee and smoke. Okay, so it's not as if, all my teeth have fallen out of my head and I'm fucking smiling with, I got 6 teeth in my brain or something. That's not the case at all. So, I mean, I'm in way better shape than I expected, to be very honest with you. I put it off for too long. I should have addressed it right away. That's my fault. And like I said, I'd rather visit with the IRS than go to the dentist. I mean, right? We can all agree with that shit. Fuck them dentists. And the other thing they did when they cleaned my teeth is they needled me with their fucking Novocaine. And I'm going to tell them tomorrow, I don't want that Novocaine. Take the price of those shots out of this fucking thing. Take that surface number. The thing you rub on my cheek before you give me the shot. Give me that stuff. Right? Rub that shit on my cheek. I don't know what it is. But the stuff that you rub on there is supposed to pretend like it's going to save me from the prick of the needle. And it don't save me from the prick of the needle. And I jump every fucking time you hit me with that needle. I'm sure most of us do. I don't know. So I don't want 6 Novocaine shots tomorrow. I went through one clean and I don't see why I needed Novocaine after they did what they did. You got heavy tartar buildup on the back of your teeth. Well, okay, fucking. Now you got new sonic fucking tools. You're breaking it up with sound. Right? Nah, I ain't playing that game tomorrow. 5 or 6 fucking shots of Novocaine. Hell no. That was the worst part of what they did when they did my tooth cleaning. And I don't know. Is that what they do when they clean your teeth, folks? It's been a long time since I've been to the dentist. That's the other issue. It's my fault. It's not, So, but is that what they do, folks? When you go for a tooth cleaning, they fucking hit you with Novocaine? And they gave me a bunch of fucking shots of Novocaine. It was a fucking joke. I don't know why you would need all that Novocaine to clean some. I could see pulling a tooth, but cleaning it? No. So, or it's not. February 6th is my next appointment there. And then tomorrow at 1, it's the appointment for the tooth replacement doctor. I let him tell me what he recommends I do. So that's where we're at. Now that everybody's caught up with my dental needs. Oh, what's going on out there in La La Land? I think I've seen a Swamp Rose. It seems like Swamp Rose waffles between he's guilty, he's not guilty. I don't know. Maybe she's on he's not guilty right now. I think what's his name is up here. I think 12 Gauge is up here. He's I don't know where his best friend is now. That fucking Jeff H, the masturbator in the automobile. Let me see if 12 Gauge is still out here. Open-minded perspectives. 12 Gauge apparently might still be up here. Let's see. Let's look back at 12 and his theories. Huh. Yeah, I don't want to know about his theories. It's kind of crazy. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, he's got that Frank guy in. Remember that drunk dude, Frank? I forget the guy. He had a stream, though. And, but he was drunk and fucked up and vulgar. And I thought that was quite fucking amazing. Quite interesting, to be honest with you, because he was always fucking drunk. And I mean, that's one way to do a stream. I imagine. I mean, probably smoke crack and do a stream, too. So that's what he's got. He's got Frankie in there. We ought to sneak in up on him and see what the fuck. Right? Yeah, him and Franklin. Anyway, 585. What the hell were I? 454-9932. Jeff H with a shower curtain. Yep. He used that as a superhero cape. And then went over there naked, assaulted all of those people, only left transfer DNA on the fucking knife button or sheath button. And he flew out of that house and disappeared into the night. And we call him, now we know who Casper the Friendly Ghost is. His real name is Brian Christopher Kohlberger. And I don't know. He doesn't play in any reindeer games, apparently. Right? What else do we got here? Listen, I think I found something that. Let me see if this is. Did it come up? No. Hang on. This is me later in life, I think. This will be me at the paternity hearing. Hang on a second. Oh, here's one. You guys want. I don't know if I've shown you guys this one yet. I don't know if I've shown you one, but watch this shit. It's crazy. Oh man, in order to present it, I got to stop. You can only share one screen, apparently. All right, so I'll quickly stop that. Let's see here. Share screen. Watch this shit, man. Let's see if it comes up. You guys can all see it. Can I increase the size of it? I don't think I can. But anyway, watch this shit. It's just fucking crazy. Does it show up over on the Idaho for me? Click live. There it is. You see the person in midair falling, right? All right, so here we go. Oh shit, where's the volume? Hang on. I go back.
We call this the crow.
Orange man bed, let me in.
Thanks for your collaboration. And remember, Don come back again.
I'll come back again. Orange man thinks we're going to pay for the wall. We identify as a woman.
Wait a minute, please.
A liberal scream. What the fuck? Holy jeez. That's some crazy shit right there, isn't it? I'll tell you, when it comes to entertainment, we do got some fucking awesome people in the world. I gotta say that. There's no doubt. We don't lack for entertainment value in this planet. Don, come back. Sends the guy a fucking bill after he throws him over the wall. That's just fucking awesome, man. Holy Christ. And for the bleeding hearts that think we should let all these people in, how about if they fucking fix up their own country? I mean, I don't know. What the fuck? I mean, that's all I'm saying. If you got just apply for our military assistance program through Trump. You could, check the boxes. We have a dictator. We have drug cartels leading our nation. Just check these boxes and then ask for military assistance. Trump will send in the fucking planes. Don't worry. We'll get you guys some fucking freedom. But don't be walking up the fuck here to get 20 million of you motherfuckers. What are you, crazy? Come on, man. It's like, just imagine if 2,000 people, if 2,000 fucking people entered your home and your property, and now you need to provide for them. Really? Yeah, that's beautiful. Let's go for it. It's just the numbers of the people that have come up through here. It's mind-numbing. And that's your Democrats. They can't stand the fucking American people. Their argument, you want to hear one of the arguments they keep saying on TV, and I don't understand how you could be a Democrat and still be a Democrat when they're telling you who's going to pick your fruit and vegetables. Are you fucking kidding me? The value of illegal immigration is so they could pick your fucking fruit and vegetables? Clean the fucking house? Take care of your kids? What are they, fucking slaves? I mean, every fucking argument that they have to maintain this immigration is all based on what they were using slaves for. It's just mind-numbing to me. How many Democratic kids, they think that the blacks don't have access to ID? They don't have access to ID, so there should be no ID law for voter because it's racist. The racist comment is you think black people don't know how to get an ID, you sick motherfuckers. And yet, it's not an unheard of answer. They just think that that's a normal fucking way to view the world. These illegal immigrants do jobs we don't want to do. Well, so did your slaves, you filthy bastards. Right? And now the people that aren't slaves, they're not smart enough to get a fucking ID? Really? I've always been stunned at how long black people voted for fucking Democrats. It's always been a shocker to me. It defies what's being said right in front of your face. I mean, they destroyed the auto industry in Detroit. The Democrat literally did with all their regulations and all their fucking rules and all their taxes. They chased the car fucking, and it was easier for the car manufacturer instead of fight with a fucking mayor. It was easier to just bring his plant to Mexico or somewhere else in the globe, Canada, or not Canada, China, whatever it might be. And I'm going to tell you right now, folks, I'll tell you what you don't know. China has surpassed us in a big way, and nobody's talking about it. Technologically, they're creeping up. If they haven't, they're going to pass us militarily. I know you could get arrested for talking to me. I know you could, bro. Yep. The entire Western fucking world has been overtaken by fucking fascists. all over the globe, from New Zealand, Australia, Panama, Europe. I think the only ones that are that are untouched are the Japanese, right? There's Carl. Look, we were asking about you a minute ago there, Carl, and then we almost forgot you existed, but then boom, you showed up. So we do have Carl here. I'm going to have to take this down, stop sharing that screen, and we're going to have to go in here and bring in share screen, show me a window, share, and go back to this. Yeah. So we do have. How did your date go the other night, Carl? Did you get? How did your date go, Carl? Tell us, because I don't know, and I would say we want to talk with your date, but I for whatever reason I'm convinced your hands don't speak English. I'm just saying. But you tell us, Carl. How was your date? I'm just curious there, Carl. Oh, apple juice, man. 100% Mott's apple juice. No sugar added. 100% daily vitamin C in one fucking 8 fluid ounce bottle. Just enough for you to make you want to drink 2. He's been following Miss W around like a dog in heat. Well, there you have it, folks. There's a descriptive yeah. He's been missing in action. MIA. Well, that's good. Have you two met personally, or are you just doing an internet romance? Because, you know, we don't want you to. Were you here last night, Carl? Carl, were you here last night? Did you watch yesterday's video? Tell us, Carl. Come on. Hello, Carl. Over here, Carl. Yeah, vitamin. Okay, Carl. Did you meet personally? Were you in here last night, and or did you catch yesterday's video? Did you catch yesterday's stream? Yeah, I kind of know he wasn't. I just wanted him to confirm that. But did you catch the stream today from last night? Because if not, I have a special video for you. It's all up to you now, Carl. Some people say I stutter, and I really don't, except when I intend to. If you get what I mean, right? No, on all accounts. Well, would you like to see the special video? Now, some would say that this might be how you're dealing with Miss W there, but I'm just curious. Would you like to see yesterday's famous video there, Carl? I can either narrate it as it plays, or, it's just you give us a yes or you give us a no, Carl. You're in charge. Right. Carl, 58545. Do I actually have a choice? I wouldn't be asking you if you didn't have a choice. I really? That's your answer? Do I actually have a choice? Carl, you are allowed to say no, and I wouldn't play the video. But you frame it in such a way as to make me seem like I'm some kind of tyrannical dictator or something. Just because I'm from China, just because I'm at the top of Cock Tower, just because my balls itch convention center is all beneath me, it doesn't make me a dictator. All right, folks. I can't help myself. Let's just hope that this is not what Carl means when he says, when he says, let's see, stop that. Present this. When he says he's been following Miss W around like a dog. Oh, no. All right, Carl, you guys ready? Let's hope this is not Carl in action following Miss W around. Grant put a hold to it. That's it. Hands and feet inside the vehicle at all times. Why not play it yet, Grant? Come on, Grant. We got permission from Carl. Come on there, Carl or Grant. What's going on? This is a fucking video off the fucking wall. This shouldn't even be allowed for people's consumption. It's just fucking insane. I'm so sad. Man, you had 10 teeth removed. Holy Christ. Wow. That's a 30-year fucking amount of teeth in your head, isn't it? Gotta get more in the chat. Nah, we're playing this for Carl's sake, Grant. We don't care about how many people come in. There's a few of us that come in here, you know, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. Here we go, Carl, just for you. Music is lovely, by the Carl. Miss W. That's Miss W. Carl, what are you doing, Carl? Miss W's like, oh, he's kind of cute. Wait a minute.
Stop! 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 Please! Stop! 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 What are you doing? Stop! Please! No!
That has got to be the top most fucked up video I've ever seen in my life. Share screen. Window. Yeah. There you go, Carl. Carl's saying, sorry, Miss W. Sorry, Miss W. I didn't mean to stalk you like that. New comments. I hope you heal quickly. Yeah, 10 teeth has got to be a... What are they giving you for pain, Donald? Donald's like, wow, he's trying to cope with that video. What are they giving you for pain? Ooh, 10 teeth all at once. Holy shit. Taking Motrin. Man. I wonder how long that's going to fucking hurt for. How long before you can eat? I mean, good God. How the fuck do you have 10 teeth pulled out at once? That's, yeah, sorry to hear that. Yeah, no cheating. Taking Motrin. There you are. That's that fucking period pill for women, ain't it? Don? Uh-oh. Let's not start talking about that fucking bringing up that topic about the bush again. Let's leave that alone. There you go, Grant. Yeah, I didn't have really much. I didn't prepare for anything. One day can be eaten again. Yeah, I don't know about that. How are you going to be eaten in one day? Did they replace your teeth or did they just pull them out? Right? Yeah, I don't even know, man. 10 of them. It's a small orange pill. Well, there you go. Well, you won't be bleeding for a few days, at least out of your crotch. If you ever had that issue before, apparently in the modern age, men have periods. I don't know what the fuck that's all about. No hot foods for 3 days. Man, oh man. Well, yeah, I don't even. I feel bad for you. That's kind of crazy. I never heard of anybody losing 10 teeth at once, unless they were in some kind of an accident. But, you'll get through it. Obviously, what choice do you have? I just can't even imagine the pain you're in. Fuck, that's insane, folks. So give a hand out there for Donald D. Nice, 3838 from Twitch. Milkshake. I don't know if he wants to drink anything that cold though. You had 15 total. That's half. Yeah, that's half your teeth. Wow. Yeah, that's really gotta hurt. Yeah, I had some guys that worked for me. One guy was missing his front teeth, and the other guy was missing almost all of his teeth. And there's this local sub shop in town, and they do make the best subs. But one of their calling cards is they make a hard roll, right? So their sub rolls are hard. You could crack somebody in the head and leave a little egg on their head with it. The inside is soft, but the shell is hard. And I wasn't thinking, and I bought a big ass large fucking submarine sandwich for them to split. And I get down there and I'm all proud of myself. I'm being nice, which is one of them things. And I give them the sub and they open it up and they look at me and they go, almost at the same time, how are we going to eat this? And I go, and I didn't realize, right? At the moment, then I'm like, what are you talking about? And the one guy smiles. He said, I only got front teeth. And the other guy says, I got no teeth. I says, then what is the fucking problem? This guy could take the bite out of it and hand it to you, and then you could deal with that and he can keep eating. Just let him take the bites out of the roll for both of you. That's all. That was kind of fucked up. You're a trooper. Teeth are a bummer. Stitches. Because some wouldn't come out. Yeah, that's. I'll tell you what. I had wisdom teeth pulled, right? And when I went to an oral surgeon, obviously, younger guy, had a hot looking assistant there. I don't know what you would call her, but they get me in the chair and they're telling jokes and they're being fucking amusing. They're getting all their stuff ready. And as they got me set up and the doctors got me in the chair, and he's got this real, this pick, I guess you would call it. And he's kind of twisted it back and forth to make a little notch in each of the teeth he's going to pull. And he says to the nurse, he says, I don't know if she's a dental assistant, right? And whatever her name was. He says, Sharon, you ready? He says, why don't you grab the watch? And she looks at me and she looks at him and she walks over to a drawer, opens it up and pulls out a motherfucking stopwatch. And I'm sitting in the chair and I'm trying to process what I'm viewing. And she says, are you ready, doctor? He goes, I'm ready. And she starts the fucking stopwatch. This guy takes that tool, sticks it in against the fucking tooth, and then boom, pops it off. And he says, time. And she stops the time, the stopwatch. And it all happened so fucking fast. I didn't even really feel them pull the tooth out of my head. I was so stunned at this. And she says, doctor, that's a new record. It was 8 seconds. He goes, excellent. Let's move to the other side now. And I'm still stunned. And they do the same thing on the other side. It took them a little longer. I think it took them like 9-point-something seconds to get it out. But that whole process of getting those 2 fucking wisdom teeth removed was one of the most insane things I'd ever experienced in a dentist office. Yeah, he was the most renowned fucking surgeon, oral surgeon in the area. But let me just say, in his, I don't even think I need to defend him. That whole distraction, that whole show, that whole distraction, the whole display at the time, all of that was, I think, what I was so beyond understanding what I was seeing. What the fuck does she got a stopwatch for? What are these people doing? And before it even dawns on you, the tooth is out of your head. You're like, what the fuck? What's going on here? You don't have time to panic. Within 20 seconds or 30 seconds, all gone. Yeah. Yeah, this surgeon was awesome, man. Then one of my dentists, the one dentist that I had that I trusted, that fucking guy died on a golf course from a heart attack. I mean, come on, bro. I mean, what was your hurry? Good dentist, everything he did, even when he gave you Novocaine, right? He would do some fucked up shit with the opposite cheek, and he'd look at you, and he'd make you look right at him. And as he's talking to you, and he's going, "There's something caught over here." And as he's doing that, he's injecting you with Novocaine. You didn't even know it. And these doctors just know just a little bit of distraction, and you're fine. Yeah. But that stopwatch fucking deal, I'll never forget that. That was the most badass way to get your teeth pulled, in my opinion. Yeah. I had a root canal, and I almost jumped out of the fucking chair. Wow. Yeah, and they didn't put me under. I don't know if I'm going to let them put me under, because I don't know what I'm going to say when I'm coming back out. That's where I don't want to be put under. People do say some fucked up shit while they're fucked up and coming out of Novocaine, or not Novocaine, but anesthesia. Anesthesia. Yeah. Fucking hey. Yeah, so today is kind of, I don't even know. They're confirming RFK Jr., a Democrat, and all the Democrats are trying to trash him. That's rather awesome. All the Democrats that are trashing him got huge fucking money from the fucking pharmaceutical lobby, from the chemical lobbies, from the drug lobbies, from the fucking food lobbies. Crazy. And yeah, that's some shit right there, man. Really, I think that we did switch over to teeth. For a long time, you people across the pond had some big fucked up teeth over there. But I think over the last 20 or 30 years, you guys have straightened out. But yeah, for the longest time, you Brits had some really fucked up teeth, man. Crooked, stained, broken, all fucked up. But I think you guys have overcome that. 3 of 10 today was wisdom teeth. Okay, so you only lost 7 of your primary teeth. Trump loves McDonald's, man. RFK said McDonald's is fine. Is there something with that letter F in the Kennedy clan where everybody gets an F for a middle name? You had JFK, you had RFK, you got, I don't know, just crazy. Teeth are not overrated. Yeah, it did. It led to tooth talk. Who cares? I'm not looking for big giant audiences and fame and money. I got all of that anyway, minus the fame. I already told you guys I'll pull them for free. There you go, Grant Clarkson. He's going to pull teeth for free. I say why not? So we got 27 views on X, and we have about that many or so close to that over on the tubes of you. Yeah, especially like me. I love steaks, and I love ribs, and I love, all kinds of meat that need to be chewed. You just can't. I imagine you might be able to put it in a blender and turn it into a meat smoothie and fucking drink it. You probably could do that. I don't see why you couldn't. FBI agent Shirley Douglas, and then the Truth. I haven't checked in on Truth and Transparency, but they did release some more documents. Did not get a win in the court today. Who didn't get a win in the court? Who didn't get a win in the court? The Idaho 4 case there? Yeah, I think the whole point of that, she's trying to make that judge is being twisted and convoluted by the judge himself. And he's putting a double talk back on her, I think. You heard BK got a win, sorry, on something. Okay, let's hope this judge is fair-minded. I have to look into that. I apologize I didn't. I didn't even know what I did all day. Yeah, the whole day it's gone. I can't even tell you what I did. I didn't do anything productive. Oh, I did get 60 waffles though. We're back to the waffle. Anybody want a waffle? Come on up here and you can have a waffle with me. And we'll waffle around if you're a female in bed. Or we can waffle around near the toaster if you're a guy. But we got the waffles coming in today. They came in. Matter of fact, now that I'm glad I remembered that. Waffles. I ordered a waffle maker. Now I'm not so sure that was a good idea. Probably have to gift that away to somebody. Why do many? I do need a four slot toaster for my waffles. I bought 60 waffles because I love waffles, and obviously maple syrup and butter. I don't know if they're from Belgium. They're probably from down the street. I have no idea. Hummingbird, or is that? I call you hummingbird. It's just easier. Human bird. I don't know what the hell it is. Why so many waffles? You know, I often ask myself that question. Why do I buy things in bulk? I'm living here alone, right? Well, I buy toilet paper, 96 rolls in a case. I buy 48 rolls of paper towels. I buy 6 packs of body soap. I buy 12 packs of bar soap. I buy 3 to 6 packs of toothpaste and deodorant. I buy everything in bulk. I never buy one thing at a time. You know, because I just don't want to fucking run out. And that's what was, you know, all my life that would happen. How many of us have pulled the fucking roll of toilet paper, found out that's your last roll in the rack? You knew it. That's the worst part. You know you got one roll left. You know when you go near a store, you need to stop and get toilet paper. You fucking know it. And you forget. Even worse, you go in the store because you need milk and something else. And you go in and you get the milk and something else and you forget the fucking toilet paper. Or you forget. See, it's those things that would drive me nuts in life. That happened to me all the time. And I was like, you know, that's bullshit. I'm going to buy this stuff so each thing lasts me a year. Coffee. I buy 12 cans of coffee, Folgers. 1 can goes per month. Yeah, man. You ain't going to catch me coming up short. When everybody had that big run on toilet paper, remember that? During or before COVID? Fuck that shit. I could have went outside and sold rolls of toilet paper. I had 96 rolls in a case. And the case that it replaced, I had a few rolls left in there. Yeah, that's some bullshit, ain't it, Donald? All you go to the fucking store, the one thing you either went for or the one thing you always needed, or you know, like the main reason you went to the store, you completely fucking forget about it. It's like, come on, man. No, ain't no one moving in with me, especially a dude. We're not having it. Yeah. Yeah, I'm telling you, I've got at least 90 or 100 pairs of socks. At least that or very close to that, and underwear. And shirts and jeans. Fuck that noise, bro. I don't want to have just a couple of something because it works out to the advantage of the person that only has it. You go buy 2 rolls of toilet paper. Go get 1 tube of toothpaste. You got to be out of your mind to do that. You're going to be using this shit your whole life. We could pick up chicks together. I don't know about that, Clark. Grant. You, I'm not a wingman, I'll tell you that. I could bring you as a wingman, though. Look at Heidi is like, good grief. Women are different. Women love to go to the stores. Where did your wife store her? In closets, big walk-in closets when I was married. You bought a roll during the fake pandemic? I don't know what you're saying. I bought in 2021, I bought that mid-engine Corvette. During the pandemic, while you guys were scrambling for toilet paper, I was buying a fucking sports car. You bought Bog? I don't even know. Yeah, I don't even do it because it's cheaper. I don't give a fuck. I'll buy half a dozen fucking 12 packs of root beer. Like I'd buy a couple of cases of the the orange juice, couple of cases of that, and I'm sorry, I can't buy. I don't know. I don't use sugar in my coffee. I use actually, and I don't care what people think about it, but I use that. What is that stuff? It's not Sweet and Low. It's the other one there in the blue package. But I buy the commercial packages with 2,500 things in it. And I'll buy 2 of them and they'll last me a couple of years. Yeah, fuck around. Mm-hmm. Not Splenda, the other thing. Total. Yeah, something like that, Total. Yeah, I don't like those little irritating things in life. I don't need that distraction. I just don't. And I'm tired of going into a store and not coming out with what I actually went in there for, or coming out of the store and getting in the truck and driving home, putting the stuff away and realizing, you know what the fuck, I needed it. Yeah. So it's a pretty big deal for me to have that stuff. So when I die, if I die in the middle of a reordering, my daughter's going to end up with a lot of stuff, and she's probably going to say, what the hell has he got all of this stuff for? Why does one guy need 96 rolls of toilet paper? Because if one guy lives over the next course of the 12 months, he's going to use 96 rolls of toilet paper, right? And maybe not. That might last 2 years, to be honest with you. Use a roll a week. That's only 52. Yeah. That's almost 2 years of toilet paper. It's crazy. And I use it, but I use it also for the toilet paper. I also use for Kleenex. I don't see the need. I don't know why anybody would buy boxes of Kleenex. That seems to be an added paper product you can do without. And then here's another thing too. This kind of pissed me off. So I was buying the cases of, they were 2-ply heavy duty paper towel. That's what was being shipped in the cases I was buying for years. And all I would do was hit reorder. Well, I hit reorder this time, and what they sent me was not only single ply, but the sheet was narrower up and down and not as deep side to side. It's smaller. It's fucking crazy, man. We know whose house to raid when we TP a house. Yeah. Yeah, and look at all the problems. I got a good friend of mine. We dated for a while. And Anita. And she's been diagnosed. I can tell you what she said. I'll tell you what she said. This is fun. This was a nurse her whole life, but she went along with everything that she was being told to do. Plus, you couldn't work in the medical profession unless you got these shots. Here's what she told me. Her daughter's a couple years younger than mine. Here's what she said. Her daughter is starting to recover from RSV. The possible... oh, wait. Let me go back. All right, no, that's fine. All right, I was on the... She started to recover from the RSV. The POTS will take years to get under complete control. Knowing what she has going on and having a real plan to manage it. Going forward is really the best I can hope for. Knowing is half the battle. And then she says, this affects you differently when it hits close to home for sure, because I said I was mad. She's 24-year-old niece and diagnosed with the same heart condition, also after having the vaccine. So it's not only her daughter, but it's her daughter's cousin. In one family, both of these girls have problems with their hearts now. And those warnings, that whole, I don't want to get into that because they'll ban the stream or something, because they this fucking jerk off motherfuckers that own this company are bought and paid for. And that fucking scam of the criminality in our fucking country. Isn't that horrible, Heidi? Yeah, that really, really offends me. I was saying that the other night because I don't want to say it. But you don't even want to be around people that have gotten those shots. And, I got to stay off that topic. It angers me. It angers me that the only thing I would ever share with people are confirmable facts, right? And even on that topic, even your confirmable facts, they ban you, they strike you, they warn you, they fucking want to chase you off of this fucking shithole of a platform. But being the shithole platforms, it's still the most popular platform. Like I got 26 followers. Fucking Rumble. Fucking Rumble is awesome. Everybody's saying Rumble's way better. Well, you know, I'm a unique kind of a person, so I'm sure I'm not going to get that many followers. But I think that I'm looking now on YouTube in the same amount of time. It all started at the same time. On YouTube, I got 2,300 and something. 2,310 subscribers. And in that same period, I got 26 on Rumble. It's crazy. It's crazy. It is. It's not even, I don't even mind that. I don't think that it's not even the fairness that bothers me. It's the offensiveness. This is the United States. I'm a free person. Not because you gave me the right to be free, but because I was born. There's where my freedom comes from. Life is freedom. All life is freedom. And these people that run around telling you have constitutional rights, I cringe every time I hear it. Everybody fucking says it all the fucking time. Every one of you stupid fucking streamers out there. You lawyers, you politicians, you fucking scholars, you stupid, ignorant fucking shit-eating assholes. We don't have rights here. That's the whole point of being free. You can't give a free man permission to do anything. That's the point of the country. And that's been lost on all of us. We've been fucking like, you need to elect the right leaders. No. You need to come together, coalesce together as a group. You are the government. You and me. Not Donald Trump, not Joe Biden, not your governor, not your mayor, not your police chief. Them cocksuckers need to work at the will of the people. We need to impose our will on them, not them on us. Oh, they violated my right. No, they didn't violate your right. That's not what you're losing when they're doing these games, like they're doing with the Koberger case and the Karen Reed case and the fucking Donald Trump cases. And they're not infringing upon your rights. They're infringing upon your humanity, your right to exist. If there's anything they're violating, it's your right to exist in a free society. And there's nobody can grant you that. No man can pass a law granting you fucking complete freedom. And we just are too fucking stupid. We've been uneducated. It's just a shame. But, you know, in all fairness, this struggle is real, and it's been going on since the Republic was formed. That's the other thing, too. I get sick and tired of people calling this place a democracy. Our federal government is based on being a republic of elected representatives. That's it. There are democratic processes within a republic. However, that doesn't make you a democracy. Democracies never survive. Democracies always they implode from the inside out. That's the problem with a democracy. You just need one vote to fuck the whole apple cart up. Right? That's the problem with democracy. The games and the bullshit that they're playing with us, these corporate fucking controls and the Chinese back fucking bullshit that's going on around us is exactly how you destroy democracy. The only saving grace of this nation is we're a republic. And that's held back, but it's going to crumble eventually too. So it's kind of fucking sad, man. It's kind of sad. It's kind of irritating. And, you know, what are you going to do? Well, really, I think people are taught the wrong things about money, if you want to know the truth. My personal view is I think those that want to concentrate on making all the money they can. You see the doomsday clock? Yeah. Yep, I've seen that, Heather. Oh, shame on you, Heather. Shame. Seamus is here, ladies and gentlemen. Out of the blue. Come on, everybody, welcome Seamus to the stream. Come on now. Remember what we were saying yesterday? For those of you that were here yesterday, Heather has got to be, we call her Shame. Shame. So we're going to call her Shamey for tonight. Welcome, Shamey. How are you, Shamey? What's new, Shamey? Twizzle stick. What's doomsday? There's a doomsday clock that they established back in the 50s to tell us how far away we were from nuclear war based on the the world conditions. I don't know there, Shane. Fucking hell. Blue Heather is here. Yep. Just remember though, Mark, we agreed last night. Shame, shame, shame. It's a countdown to 0, which means the annihilation of humanity. Well, it's how many minutes or how many seconds before midnight, which is a countdown to doomsday. No, Grant, you can't call her Heather. You got to call her Shamey. Seamus. Shame, shame, shame. Come on now. Get on the fucking wagon. Yep, ma'am. Yep, ma'am. You've been telling me all along and had the entire video. And we know that that's not accurate. I've asked you how many times, and you say, yes, she does. Yep. No, she don't. Not according to her, she don't. Not according to the last hearing, she don't. Shame, shame, shame. Oh. Yes, there, Miss Fitzgerald. She does. You're so discombobulated, you can't even. She does. No, she don't. Says Grant Clarkson with no teeth. No, I don't care about the timestamp. It was just said in the last hearing. It was just said in the last hearing when they were talking about the video. I don't have a complete video of where they identified the car near the house. I don't have the audio to it. I've got pieces of it. I got parts of it, she says, which is what I have been saying for the longest time. And, I think where she's saying that, where you're picking that up is in relationship to something else. All right. I got my chicken curry to eat. I hope the world don't end yet. Well, you got 89 seconds. So, you might want to shovel that shit in there quick. Thanks for stopping in. And, good luck with freedom over there. Fix that shit so we got to come over and do it again. No. She said that she has small pieces of it. She has small pieces of the video. And the audio. She has parts of that. She doesn't have the complete. Okay. And in the pieces she has, you can't make out. She was referring to them claiming that there was no license plate on the car. And she says that the video she has, you can't even get a view of the front bumper to determine whether there's a license plate there or not. It's incomplete. They have not sent us the whole video. She said the dog started barking at 4:17 a.m. and barked for 25 minutes continuously from 4:17 a.m. on, Twizzle. That's the statement from the defense. But Heather, just so you know, I'm just keeping you on your toes. Someone's got to do it. Sarge loves that job. I volunteer for that job 8 days a week. Right? It's fucking awesome, man. It's good to be wrong because you learn stuff. That's the best part about being wrong. Is that you can only learn things from being wrong. You first must be wrong, okay? Or ignorant. Those people couldn't ID their own ass in a mirrored room with fucking bifocal glasses on. Those people are a fucking tragedy to law enforcement. 25 minutes, and neither of you want to see what was wrong with him. I don't know what you're talking about, Heidi. I think we're all cross talking here. We all have our own ideas, and we're all trying to discuss our own ideas with ourselves in a community of 65 people. It's kind of crazy. Yeah. Maybe there's only 62 billion or 62 morons on social media, and they're all in here with me. Or there's 5.63 billion. Oh. And neither of you want to see what was wrong with him. Jennings is a gift to defense. Why? What did Jennings say? That poor doggy dog. Yeah, that whole thing. And this is the thing, too, that now that guy Get a Clue gets it. And a lot of you in here get it. And I don't know that, like I'm saying, I am positive, I sense that Ann gets it, but Ann doesn't know how to frame it or put it in a context that's really simple. And her context that would be very simple is, listen, they picked up DNA from a knife sheath, full stop. Put the knife sheath down. Okay? They then took the DNA from that knife sheath and they amplified it. They created a sample twice as big, sent it to the FBI, who took an amplified sample and did what they did to get a potential suspect. And just for those of you that are mad at the FBI, let me be clear. That's all the FBI intended to do. It didn't save its work. It didn't keep fucking track of anything because their only purpose was to give a potential suspect name. That was it. None of what they did was ever to be used in the court of law. It was up to the Idaho police then to take the suspect or suspects' names and investigate them. Right? Now here's the thing. The FBI was told, based on the Idaho work, that Kohberger was around that house, Kohberger was at the house, whatever the fuck they told the FBI, and then the FBI got into actively investigating them. So I don't even know what to say about this shit show. You know, I don't even know what to say. This shit show goes beyond comprehension. I don't even know what to think anymore, because when everything you're alleging and everything in the PCA, if you throw out all the fucking car and you throw out all the video and you throw out all the pings, you come always back to the transfer DNA, and that's it. And transfer DNA is circumstantial evidence. Blood DNA is circumstantial evidence because you can't date that fucking blood. You can't pull blood off a fucking staircase or off a fucking chair, right? Remember, whatever happened had been sitting for 8 hours. So depending on the quantity of blood, you don't know. Yeah, that Murphy Knows channel. The DNA matched to his dad, which I've always argued was it still means that. No, DNA is not huge. That's what you've been taught by watching TV, if that's what you're trying to say there, Donald. DNA is not huge at all. DNA in and of itself, a single piece of DNA or a single fingerprint is rarely enough to convict anybody of anything. It doesn't tell you when the person placed it there, right? And in this case, because of the kind of DNA, it doesn't even tell you if he was anywhere near the house or anywhere near any of the victims. None of those connections can be made. That's why they wrote the PCA that way. I'm telling you, they wouldn't have written that PCA if all you needed was that transfer DNA to charge this kid with 4 homicides. There was no need to do what they did. But typically, you're going to see in cases that are unique like this, that the DNA itself isn't enough to convict you. It's circumstantial evidence. It's one piece of a puzzle that you have to now assemble. And they didn't assemble a puzzle that connected the DNA to the date and time of that crime. Matter of fact, the puzzle that they assembled puts Bryan Kohberger everywhere except near any of those kids and that home. Puts him everywhere except there. And so the DNA is now an outlier, right? I'm just, how do you put and how do we get Kohberger at the scene? You can't argue the DNA proves him to be there. You just can't. I don't give a fuck where it was found. No, it was on the knife sheath. Okay, it was on the knife sheath. What time did it arrive? The knife sheath, his DNA, his contact with that knife sheath, if he touched it at all. What time did he do that? Well, he must have done it during the crime. Based on what? Let's review. Did you search his apartment? Yeah. Did you search his drains? Yeah. Did you search his vacuum cleaner? Yeah. Did you search his bed? Yeah. Huh. What did you find? Nothing. What do you mean nothing? Nothing. Oh, okay. Did you search his car? Yeah. Did you take it apart? Yeah. Did you find it covered in bleach? No. Did you find any connectivity between him and any of the victims? No. Did you take the seat out? Yeah. Did you take the brake pedal out? Yeah. Did you take the fucking shifter apart? Yeah. Did you look under the carpet? Yeah. If I were Ann, I would torture them motherfuckers. I'd have a list of about 68 fucking questions on just the steering wheel. You cocksuckers. I'd be all over these fucking people. Really? Okay, Your Honor. If she's got to go to trial with this, man, I think I'm going to fly to Idaho and make an appointment with her. Okay? You don't want me as cold kind. You know, you want me an expert in everything. Call me to the stand. I'll be the expert on everything. How could he be the expert on everything? Ask me a question. Right? But I would torture these motherfuckers. What did you search at his office? Coffee cup? Yeah. Drawers? Yeah. Under the drawers? Yeah. The seat? Yeah. The crevices in the seat? Yeah. Under the desk? Yeah. On the floor? Yeah. What else did you search? Did you search the... Yeah. Oh, man, what I would go to the extreme in front of that jury. I'd put people to fucking sleep on the car. Did you check the trunk? We did. How did you check that trunk? Well, we took it apart. Okay. And I'd have a list of that fucking Elantra. Was there a spare tire in that trunk? There was. Did you swab the tire? We did. Did you swab the jack? Was there a jack in the car? There was. Did you swab the jack? Yeah. Did you swab the jack handle? Yeah. Did you swab the fucking the S fucking bolt that holds it to the floor? Yeah. Did you remove the carpet? Yeah. Did you swab and check the carpet? Yeah. Did you vacuum the carpet? Yes. Holy fuck, would I take these people apart? Yeah, they would. The judge would say, "We get it." No, I don't think you understand, Your Honor. This is our case. You don't get it. I don't think you get it, sir. You don't get it. They don't get it. Nobody gets it, and you're going to get it by the time I'm done with you. You took 8 fucking pico fucking particles or minute motherfucking pieces of God knows what and magnified it and multiplied it, fucked with it, and decided that made that to be identified my client. Now, when you actually go to the fucking crime scene and you try to put my client in the crime scene, you can't. When you try to connect my client to the fucking victims, you can't. When you try to connect my client to any presence in that house ever, you can't. That's where I would be beating these people over the fucking head with that. Good night there, human bird mouth. I guess that's your name. I don't know how to say. Hummingbird mouth, I guess. Moth? Hummingbird moth or something. I don't know. I wouldn't let these people I wouldn't let them off the jury until they were fucking sweating and fucking irritated and angry and unable to fucking think. I'm telling you, I would bring the schematics of the fucking car and I'd put them up on a fucking screen. And I would show the jury just how fucking detailed. And why would you look here? Because these things end up in places that the perpetrators are unaware of. Okay, so let's go over how detailed you were in the destruction of this kid's car. A car, by the way, we're going to ask for fucking not just reassembly, but replacement when this is all over with. I'm telling you, the judge would have to put me in jail to calm me down. All right, I wouldn't get out of that courtroom alive. Fucking Koberger would probably be fine. But old Sarge would be one fucking locked up across the fucking hall from him. I'd be like, Brian, don't worry, bro. Tomorrow's a new day. Just keep me here. I'll be in front of the judge. And I would torture these people. Their images, their videos. And that would be the question I'd ask the jury over and over again. So these images that you're telling us to find Mr. Koberger's presence, these are the evidence that yes. And I'd say, gee, I sure hope my daughter doesn't come in contact with people like you. And the judge would fucking flip out. Old Cracker Claus would be jumping up faster than that fat bastard has ever moved. That would be part of my closing argument. As a defense, I know my client did not do this. Imagine this gentleman was your child. Imagine that if he was your child. Would you be okay with what this prosecution has put forward based on some transfer DNA that they're telling you? They've lied to you this whole time. Every story they told you, the stalking, everything is a lie. And you're supposed to go in the back room. You're going to leave this jury box and have a bullet put in this kid's brain because of transfer DNA that they will not produce the evidence on how they even decided that belonged to Brian. The judge would be, you're in contempt. I'd be like, yeah, I'm in contempt. You're in contempt. This whole fucking court and justice system is contempt. I'd be all over them people because this is just wrong in the process that they're putting him through, and the basis under which they're doing it, and the deceit that they're using. And the fact, like I said this in the very beginning, the best thing that might happen to America is this kid actually killed these fucking people, God forbid. May they rest in peace. And he gets away with it. America deserves that. And matter of fact, and I'm sorry to say this, but so do the parents. The fucking parents need to be going out in the media. We were completely convinced the case they had against this gentleman was completely solid. Now we're not so sure. There's no evidence of his car being at that house. There's no evidence of him being in that home. There's nothing except for this secretive investigation that they did in some kind of database called IGG. Man, I would be, someone ought to send this to the family. Send this little spiel of mine to the families. Are you out of your fucking mind? That kind of a horrific crime scene, DNA of actual blood left there by unidentified males that are not Kohberger, and you're going to let this story that they've lied about, that they fucking put out in the media to convince people he's guilty. Now you're seeing the facts, and you, the families yourselves, aren't questioning these fucking people. I hope you find roofers that behave like that. Wait till you need a roof on your house. You need to hire people just like that so that you can run around your fucking house during a rainstorm trying to avoid all the drips coming in. That's what these people deserve. How in the fuck as a parent can you stand by and watch what they're doing here to this guy? They built the case out of bullshit, out of complete lies. The data they have shows that they're wrong, and they lied about it so that they could make it look like that DNA mattered. And that DNA don't matter for a minute. It don't matter because everything else shows you Kohberger couldn't have wielded that knife. And it's unfucking questionable. You really don't know. You are speculating on the evidence you know about. I don't even understand what that means. I'm not speculating about anything. I read that PCA the day it came out, and I said that PCA is exculpatory. Period. That PCA did everything except place Brian at that house. And I said that the day it came out because of the way it was written. You can't write a PCA. You can't write a PCA that says he turned off his phone to mask his location, or he could have put an airplane mode, or it could have disconnected from the network. You can't make a statement that includes exculpatory, obviously fucking reasons that would show there's more reasons why that phone went off than the argument you're making. Your argument is he turned it off, but the reality of it is, no, based on my training and experience. Take some of that fucking facial hair and put it on your head, Brett Payne. That's what you fucking need to do. You want a lesson in reality? Get your fucking facial hair and put it back on top of your head where it belongs. No, there isn't stuff I don't know about, country brat. Everything that we already know, you need not know anything else. This is where you guilters are just like, I don't know. It's like, fuck, man. It's like you hang out at fucking bus stations waiting to get free blowjobs in the bathroom or something. You don't even got the sense to go to an airport where you might catch a classy cock. What the fuck is wrong with you guys? I don't understand. There's no images that place that car at the house. We don't even know there was a car involved in this based on what we now know. You can't even prove anybody got out of a car and did anything. It's crazy. That's just crazy. Where the fuck is there evidence that the car and that PCA had anything to do with that fucking crime? There isn't none. There's no images of somebody getting out of the car. There's no images of anybody getting back in the car. As a matter of fact, according to what we now know about Bethany's fucking view, Bethany saw some naked dude running away. Or some dude in undershorts. Nude, but in undershorts. So if some dude nude in undershorts ran away, that automatically eliminates the car from being involved. Don't think you know more than that. Look at country brat. I'll tell you what I do. I know more than you. all of your friends, all of your coworkers, all of your family, and anybody you walk by, and the countless fucking thousands of people in your life. I know more than all of them. Okay? You are a programmed fucking bot. You don't understand how to think. You believe something and you argue that what you believe. And I don't give a fuck what you believe. You could believe in Allah. You could believe in fucking Christ. You could believe in nothing. Crime needs facts. Facts need to equal the crime. You have no facts. You have a belief. You believe something because you're a fucking twit. It's incredible how fucking ignorant so many people are out here on what they're looking at. Jesus Christ. Yeah. I'll just give you a fucking temporary timeout to shut you the fuck up. You need evidence, and the evidence needs to stand up and stick together. You can't make an argument that a car was used in that crime and not provide any video images that support that allegation. You can't claim that the car that went towards Moscow at 2:42 in the morning is Brian Koberger's when the video you gave to Brian Koberger's defense shows Brian Koberger's car leaving at 2:44 a.m. going south. Going south, as he claims. So you got a video of two fucking white sedans. One leaves at 2:42, and that's the one you picked to put the PCA, you criminal motherfuckers. And that car was headed towards Moscow. But the one that really left that contained Brian, that clearly shows that's his Elantra, leaves at 2:44 heading south away from the crime scene. And you don't even want to tell anybody that. You picked the car. This isn't whack-a-fucking-mo. If the kid's car was heading south, right? Then that's the kid's head. Sorry, that piece of evidence is now no good. It doesn't support your theory. If the car around the house can't be identified, and in fact is then identified by an FBI expert as 11 to 13, then it can't be Brian Koberger's car. You need to move on to a new suspect. You need to start testing the fucking blood on the glove. You need to start testing the blood on the fucking stair rail. You need to bring all of the people that were at that house back into your fucking police department. You need to put Bethany behind bars. Dylan behind bars. That's what you need to do. You need to take their freedom away for 72 hours. You need to now take that house board by fucking crack by everything to fuck apart. Completely. If you got to go pull every blade of fucking grass and test it. It's take the whole fucking sliding glass door off the fucking track and bring it to a forensic lab. The evidence against Brian Koberger is non-existent. It always was non-existent. And without that non-existent evidence, all you're left with is transfer DNA on a button snap. And that in and of itself is not proof of a crime. Your fucking DNA and your fingerprints are all over the place. Can you imagine being in a 7-Eleven that gets robbed later on or minutes after you leave and they use your fingerprint and that fingerprint proves everything? How the fuck does that even make sense to people? And if you're one of those guilters, it's just crazy. It's just fucking crazy, man. I wasn't fucking indicted for my fingerprint being on a hinge to the door. The door had to be opened by the hinge. And once opened, apartment had to be entered and guns had to be taken. I committed the fucking crime. My fingerprint was on the hinge. And they wouldn't indict me for it. Because I was the maintenance man in the fucking property. I was painting that hallway, that doorway, those hinges, that trim, those ceilings. I had a reason to be there. So they never indicted me for that crime, and I fucking committed it. And I'm not proud of that. It's probably the best example when you look at the Koberger case. Because I'd been in the apartment previously and I had associated with the guy. You guys see me, I'm a very social person. If I'm not a prick, I'm funny. I'm either funny or I'm being a prick. It's one or the other, and most of the time, it's both. I knew he had guns. He'd shown it to me months and months before. So I knew there were guns there. I can't remember the guy's name. Matter of fact, if I knew who he was, he's probably not even alive anymore. But it is what it is. The case did hinge on it. There was no case, though. They went to indict. And here's the difference between what they did with Brian and what they did with me. in my case, the grand jury was told that I was the maintenance man, that I was painting that hallway, that I was, they were told that information, and they were told that the hinges were removed to enter that apartment where guns were stolen. They were told both sides of this. They were told every fucking thing. And that's another argument Anna's making. You're not telling these people everything that you know. And that's a problem. You don't give the magistrate, you don't give the grand jury a chance to have something to fucking deliberate against. You can't, they keep saying you can indict a ham sandwich, and as Americans, we need to put an end to that. No. You need evidence that makes sense that a reasonable person, especially a grand jury, on a grand jury, the grand jury's decision needs to be based on the point of view that had this been a trial and they were on the jury, they would find you guilty. That's the level of fucking understanding a grand jury has to have. I like ham sandwiches. Ham sandwiches. Just like Homer Simpson on that one. But yeah, I all of these people try to hold on to he's guilty, not because the evidence says he's guilty, but because you got some perverted fucking brain damaged thought in your head that he's guilty. And the bottom line is he's innocent till proven guilty. And just for conversation's sake, I've already said thousands of times, I don't argue for his innocence. That's not what I'm arguing about. That's not my fucking business. That's nothing I can determine. If the police investigation were that he turned the phone off, he was buying gas, and in the presence of the cashier, he turned his phone off, put it in his pocket, left the gas station. Once he left the gas station, we catch him on video heading towards Moscow. I would accept that. Oh, but not the fucking bullshit based on my experience of 15 years with no hair on my head. No, that's not evidence, folks. Your fingerprint on a door hinge is fucking evidence, okay? No, I didn't hear that. Yeah, and it does. What gets me stressed out is that people just surrender their right to think. And then they want to come in here after they've surrendered their right to think and then argue with people that have the fucking capacity and that all they do is think. Yeah, that's horrible what happened there. I don't know how a helicopter runs into a 747, but good God. That's just insanity. Thank God only 75 people were killed. That seems like you lost hundreds and hundreds of people. Yeah, these policemen, how the fuck do you make that story up when you're looking at this guy's data when it comes to videos and cell phone locations? How are you so wrong about this? And then you use choice phrases. You don't accuse him of stalking, but you make sure that that fucking probable cause affidavit suggests in the strongest terms without saying he was stalking. It's written in such a way that the only conclusion you could draw from that is this motherfucker was stalking them. Yeah, the water is 34 degrees. That's fucking crazy, man. A Black Hawk helicopter hit a fucking airplane. I think the FBI that's what you guys keep saying. That's what he was. And if they did investigate him for stalking, it was because of the fallacious information of the 12 previous trips. And the FBI did what I keep telling you guys. A lot of times it happens. They will impanel a grand jury. And they'll do an investigation while the grand jury is secretly impaneled. And when you do have 12 trips, and if I were Ann, I would subpoena the data that the FBI used to come to that conclusion. I would subpoena that, and I would slap it right on the fucking front of Hitler's forehead. Flat, motherfucker, read this. Mr. Hitler, okay? This is why we're arguing all of this evidence is inadmissible, because every accusation made in the PCA is a blatant fucking lie. It's a lie. It's a manipulation of the data. It's not the truth about the data. It's manipulated to paint a picture that does not exist. You are not looking at the Mona Lisa, okay? You're looking at Brett Payne's asshole. That's what they painted the picture of. It's Brett Payne's asshole. And they've convinced you're looking at the Mona Lisa. You need to step back and smell the fucking roses, bro. Get your nose out of Brett Payne's asshole. and start reading the documents and see that they make no fucking sense, man. Now, with all of that thrown in the garbage can, what are we left with? I mean, and what did he do when he went home to his parents? This is the best part. You want to hear exculpatory fucking evidence? Is that he went back to Pennsylvania and did the same motherfucking things in Pennsylvania that he did in Washington and in Idaho. He stayed up late at night and went running during the day and went running at night and sorted garbage at night and did all of these shits late at night. Showing you that this person is an occupant of the evening, okay? It's fucking, everything they've produced is exculpatory. And they twisted it to make it look like it shows criminal behavior. Yeah, he put on his assault gloves. Because Dawn for dishes is too harsh on his fucking manicure, right? I get more people listening when I start going into my rants. It's awesome. Well, the grand jury process is like I said, I know in RICO they will impanel grand juries and they go after you that way. But you know, Dinky is a genius. What did Dinky come up with? And there is no evidence of him stalking anybody. They concluded that he wasn't stalking. Fair enough, Twizzlestick. Pardon me. Right? Where's the work in the cast work that defers that makes that decision possible? The kid did nothing. He left his phone in Washington. I don't know if he did. BK didn't do well. I'm not saying here. I'm going to say this. My argument, even though folks, it might sound like I'm arguing for his innocence. I can see people seeing it that way, but that's not really what I'm doing. I'm pointing out all the unfair and inequitable fucking information that was dumped into the court system to arrest this guy. I am not saying Bryan Kohberger didn't have anything to do with the crime. I am not saying Bryan Kohberger is innocent. There's a trillion ways Kohberger could have done this. There's an infinite amount of ways he could have done this or been involved. And there's really only one clear way to show he didn't do it. And it's everything the fucking cops put in that PCA. Every statement, every suggestion, every fucking inference, and every fucking accusation that he was at that house is a complete fucking lie. No, I don't see myself. That's not how I disseminate fucking thinking about stuff. He's a patsy. What the fuck is wrong with you? Why would I see myself as him? That's just fucked up. It's just sad that so many fucking people come out here. It's like even with the Sebastian case, it's with how about the case in Kansas City? You know how many people attacked me when I said those 3 men died from a fentanyl fucking overdose? Unbeknownst to them, they got drugs. And the guy in the house, everybody, all you fucking people were accusing him of being the guy that made the drugs because he was a biochemist for HIV. All them fucking stories. How about that one woman that went missing from the hospital? And I said immediately it was her own fault. The cop did her a service by driving her home. The hospital did her a fucking service. They released her because she was releasable. And yet all of you people attacked the hospital, you attacked the fucking cops, you impugned everybody. Donna Eyes. And that fucking woman did it to herself. Okay? Those 3 fucking guys in Kansas City that died in their backyard, froze to death, did it to themselves. They weren't murdered. It wasn't the cops hiding it. It wasn't any of that. Now, you go look at the fucking, those 2 cases I called before anyone even thought about fucking understanding what they were seeing and got attacked for it. And in the end, I was right. Nobody said a fucking word. Clue was right. Cletus was right. A few of us had that shit figured out just based on the data they released to the public. And we all turned out to be accurate. In the Karen Reed case, I completely am convinced that my analysis of that case is accurate. There's no way this woman backed into his arm and threw a fucking 180 or 200-pound man 30 feet through the fucking air. I'm sorry. No. You don't back into someone's arm. Their forearm, their outstretched arm was backed into by an SUV. I don't give a fuck how fast that SUV was going. There ain't no way that would lift you off your feet and throw you 30 feet in the air to land in a fucking heap. Okay? And no mark in the snow, no mark in, no, I'm sorry. That case is fucked up. The Allen case is fucked up, and how the police handled that. In cases where it's fucked up, I'm as accurate in cases that you're being told are fucked up that are not fucked up. So the point I'm trying to make is I'm not anti-police or anti-anybody. I'm pro looking at the evidence. I'm pro-fact, and I'm pro trying to understand those facts. That's the point of view that I come from. I don't try to become Donna Eyes or a fucking dead body in a backyard or Brian Koberger. I don't know these fucking people. I don't make any money coming out here on the internet. My channel isn't monetized. I don't need anybody to come in here. I could sit on Discord and talk to a few people about this. Right? I don't know what people think is going on this fucking channel. I'm trying to show you that you need to think, not believe, but think. See if it makes sense. If two cars leave Washington 2 minutes apart, and they're similar vehicles, and the one that heads south ends up giving you a phone ping where you claim he turned his phone off to hide his location, but that car turned away from Moscow. That's Koberger's car. Why did you say in the PCA that he left at 242, a car you know not to be Koberger's? When the police, that could be a mistake. Okay, now correct your fucking mistake. That changes your whole story. And they're not willing to correct their mistake. Therefore, I have a problem with this prosecution. And the argument that transfer DNA is circumstantial evidence. Blood DNA, fingerprint is circumstantial evidence. Anytime you have a single source of anything, could be blood. Now, if it's semen and it's near the fucking vagina, all right, well, that is still, just so you know. See, right here. Even semen in or around the vagina is circumstantial, even if the woman was strangled to death and killed. The presence of a single piece or single source of semen is still circumstantial. It's highly fucking suggestive. And how about the black guy that spent 10 years in jail because it was so highly suggestive? Because they found his semen inside the woman that was murdered. Right? And they incarcerated him for that. Guess what, folks? They never reported. Okay? They never reported the DNA that they had found, the blood samples around her wounds and her beatings, and the weapons with unidentified fingerprint on it. None of that was ever turned in. All they ever went to court with was the semen. And it took this guy 10 years to get it back in court. And in fact, he argued from the beginning that I had consensual sex with this woman we were dating. And we had our encounter. We made love, and I left and went home. And sometime later that night, she was murdered. And the bottom line was, when they looked at the complete crime scene that the cops hid from the fucking jury, the evidence that the cops didn't turn over to the defense, the evidence that they did not supply to the fucking grand jury, was evidence that showed other offender committing the crime. That there was no way to suggest that just because his semen was there, he was the killer. There's so many crimes that are convicted on single sources, pieces of evidence, and it's weak. And 9 out of 10 times when you see that happen, the cops are making up stories to make that single source look as if it's part of it's one part in this big giant series of events. That's what look at. To convict somebody, you need 100 pennies. Transfer DNA is 1 penny. You need now to find 99 more pennies to connect that transfer DNA or that blood sample to the actual time and place of the crime. You're short 99 cents. And these police, rather than do their job, and every time they came across evidence that was exculpatory, they lied about it. I know you can't. No, there's a lot of people that look at, you remember Amanda Knox? You're over there in Europe. Amanda Knox was convicted on transfer DNA on a knife. I believe on the handle of the knife. Her roommate was killed by that knife. And they convicted her of murder. But it was transfer DNA, and there was other DNA that they didn't work with. You're right. And the other DNA, I don't think they ever made an arrest after. But the bottom line is, her transfer DNA belonged on that knife handle because they lived together and ate together. And the presence of her fucking transfer DNA on anything in that apartment isn't unusual. Yet the first prosecution told a story. And that story connected it to the fucking knife, connected to her being the killer. Oh, that's fucking horrible. What kind of a plane was it, he's a patsy? Collided into a 60-passenger flight. Did they have the collision on camera? Yeah, let me Google it real quick. That's a terrible fucking accident, man. Plane crashes in the Potomac River near Reagan National military helicopter crashes into plane. This comes from J.D. Vance's account, the Vice President of the United States. Please say a prayer for everyone involved in the mid-air collision near Reagan Airport this evening. We're monitoring the situation, but for now, let's hope for the best. Stop spending the Patriots that protects passengers. Oh, these motherfucking left-wing pieces of shit. The guy's not even been there 10 fucking days. And it's his fault the spending has been cut. Go ask that piece of shit, that fucking lying cocksucker Biden, who gave hundreds and hundreds of billions of dollars of our fucking money away to promote war. You filthy fucking Democrat. You filthy piece of fucking shit. Hundreds of billions of our dollars to go kill tens of thousands of fucking people. And now you're going to suggest J.D. Vance that just got in there? Ain't been in there more than 10 fucking days? You fucking filthy pieces of shit. I can't stand Democrats, man. And, you know, unless they're middle of the road in their understanding. There's more to the fucking world than just some fucking belief. You believe J.D. Vance is no good because what? He doesn't agree and you're killing babies? Can't you disagree about things like that and still fucking have a conversation? Democrats, no, you can't. My bitch on biscuit is innocent too. Victorine. What else do we got? Yeah, it's been a long time since we've even had a series of a major airliner go down in the United States. You got to admit those are pretty safe things to fly around on. But I get I get exasperated. I'm not mad. It's exasperation. That was probably one of that fucking jerk off, that Jeff asshole coming in here with a girl's name or something. That's probably who the fuck that was. That fucking person doesn't matter what the fucking government tells him, what the fucking cops say. Even if you could see in black and white that they're completely fucking wrong, he'll make up a fucking excuse for these people. It's absolutely incredible how far people will go to avoid the facts. Facts are facts. Facts don't mean that they got to fucking fit what you think. Facts don't mean that they got to agree with me. It's just fucking incredible how people are. I don't want fucking Koberger to be innocent or guilty. I want the facts to tell us what it is. It's not up for me to decide this guy's innocent or guilty. But I wish I had a law license. I'd fly right out there and work for fucking free. I'd collect cans in fucking my off hours so that I could pay for a fucking hotel room if I had to. I block anybody that's an ignorant fucking piece of shit like that pretends to be this kind, compassionate, loving, church-going fucking music player. He's a piece of shit, that guy. Everything about him is a lie. And he knows it. He knows it, but you guys, he comes off as if, you know, he's just this. Oh, he's not. He's literally he's the kind of piece of shit that I would decipher on a phone call when he was calling my businesses for services, and I would fucking hang up on him. You know, a lot of people are fooled because people put on a personality. They put on a face when they get on the internet, and you ain't fooling me with that. So, yeah, no. Why do I block? Fuck that piece of shit. I block them. And there's not that many people I block, but people like that, yeah, they get blocked. Even the other person who was in here a little while ago, maybe it was you, irritated me, so I gave you a timeout. I don't run to block people I disagree with. But it isn't even a disagreement. You can't say that that PCA is valid when the police themselves have testified to it being invalid. And that being the case, you then have to stop back and review everything you think you know. If everything those cops are saying was absolutely verifiable, I would not argue with that PCI. I wouldn't complain. I would accept it at face value. If you got a picture of him in his car, if you could show that. No, that guy, the minute we got off the phone, he got on the fucking stream and did the exact opposite about what he and I had talked about. That's when I knew. I gave him a chance. So what you're showing is that I'm really a good guy. I determined Jeff to be a piece of shit before the phone call. And then the phone call went well. And the next time the person was on the internet, he did the exact fucking thing I said he was going to do, was be the same asshole he was before the phone call. So I blocked him. I'm glad you brought that up. I forgot I even did that. So when it comes to somebody being reasonable and somebody that's open to hear things that differ from what I say, I'm open to that always. You never hear anybody say, being wrong is the first fucking chance you got to learning something. Being wrong is a very good thing. Yeah, I shared with what I believe to be Dylan's involvement in that crime, that there may in fact have been a love triangle. And that knife sheath, there's no indication it was brought into the home because of where it was found. That knife sheath is in a position that indicates that it was in the hands of one of the victims. And you could say no, but nobody can say no for sure. And if you're going to look at the crime scene and determine what's in front of your fucking face, then you do so. But you don't see me running around telling you, well, maybe he made a U-turn, or I invent information outside of the facts. I try to understand the facts as they're presented and try to shape a picture from it. I don't add facts in, right? So the fact of the matter is there's only two people that you can confirm were there before, during, and after the fucking event. And that's Bethany and Dylan. That's unquestionable. Their DNA, their blood, their fucking hair is going to be in that house. So you're not going to get them through forensics. Then you interview one of them that we now know is a harebrained fucking nut job. And you modify what she says to fit your fucking theory as a cop to get a warrant against Kohberger. That's bullshit. This woman is clear. That Dylan. And her story is highly suspicious. Her behavior is highly suspicious. As to whether she has direct involvement or ancillary involvement is to be determined. You can't eliminate her as a suspect. Absolutely not. And everything she's done makes her look like a suspect. So, you can't say that about a cop telling you about a pretend fucking car. That a pretend car that an FBI agent told you was an 11 to 13, that the same agent to this very moment in history is confident that it's an 11 to 13. You can't then fucking dream up that belongs to Kohberger. You can't walk into a house and all the doors are open and tell me none of the fucking survivors smelled that fucking smell. There's a problem with that. You can't tell me that you waited 8 hours to call the police where there were 4 dead bodies in that fucking house with bedroom doors open. As the police found the scene, and the door that contained the dog open, and the dog completely clean with nothing suspicious on him, nothing. And that crime scene is so fucking telling that things took place inside the house. From within. Not somebody coming out from the outside. To me, that crime scene speaks of interior involvement. That perp did not sneak in the middle of the night. That perp was part of that house in some way, shape, or form. Yeah, you got to take that shit out of here. I'm going to tell you this one time, okay? Because now you sound just like Jeff, and you got to shut the fuck up with that, okay? You literally got to shut the fuck up with that. I don't give a fuck what people's theories are. There's no allegations of the car being altered or of somebody putting tape on a car to hide their fucking car. There's no argument of that. There's no statement of that. There's no evidence of that. There's no motion for that. There's nothing. Brett Payne was asked, do any of them fucking pictures identify Kohberger in his car? Any of them pictures and video? And he said no. That's it. No, you got to go. If you don't stop talking about that, you just got to get the fuck out of here. That is definitely you fucking piece of shit. Fucking jerk off. They put fucking tape over the fucking reflectors. You motherfucker. I'll slap you so fucking hard your great grandchildren will fucking feel it. That is that piece of shit with his 37 fucking names. Unfucking believable. Folks, guess what just happened? You're not going to believe what just happened. Do you guys want to guess what just happened? I hate to fucking tell you. I hate to fucking tell you. Anybody know what just happened? Does anybody know what we just experienced? Anybody? Twiz? Heather? Does anybody know what just happened? Do you guys know what we just experienced? I don't even think words can describe it. This is what just happened. Jeff just showed up. Look at this. Here's Jeff. We just experienced this. What the fuck kind of world do we live in? This just happened to the whole room.
Stop! 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 Please! Stop! 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 What are you doing? Stop! Please! No!
Oh, Jesus Christ. Well, folks, and now that we've all had a Jeff fucking experience, it might be time to fucking end this nightmare. This is insane. Are you fucking serious? Did we all just... That's what we call a drive-by from Jeff, right? Unfucking believable. And you know how I knew it was Jeff is when he brought up that fucking phone call. That's when I knew right away that was Jeff. I gave him the benefit of the doubt. But I don't play three strikes. To me, life isn't baseball. You get the benefit of the doubt from me once. And if you violate that benefit of the doubt, I will be a fucking asshole to you and attack and trash, and I'll urinate. If you're on fire, I'll urinate next to you. But just far enough away that you can't roll into the urine to put out your fucking fire. That's what I would do. Because once you're on my shit list, that's it. It's over for you. Literally. I would urinate at your fire, but just so that you couldn't fucking get to the liquid to put yourself out. Yeah. It's hard to be laughing his hands off. I'd be writing in the snow. You are dead. Why do you not like Pavarotti? Nah, I don't like Pavarotti. He's a fucking twit. He's a con man, Debbie. He's telling you all these fucking stories and he's connecting all these dots and anything can make sense, Debbie. Anything can make sense. I mean, but the bottom line is, why do you got to go outside the bounds of the actual facts you have? Why is he going and attacking and impugning other people? Even if these people have a bad background. Listen, I have a bad background. I've been in jail. I've been arrested. I robbed a fucking bank. I broke into apartments and stole guns. I did all of these things 30 years ago, Debbie. But I'm not out here trying to monetize this, and I could do what he's doing. But there's no, why would you defame other people? Why would you attack or point fingers at other people that aren't part of this case? Who do people think they fucking are to impugn other individuals, right? And I'm not going to get into what I know about Pavarotti, but if you, that's the problem with America. People don't have common sense anymore. This case is not about the Banfield. This isn't about Pavarotti's 3 friends within the fucking distance of that house. It's not about that. This is about the case that the state has brought against another citizen because 4 Americans were slaughtered in a house. And the case they're making against this other citizen is a joke. And as Americans, we should not stand for this. We should not stand for what happened in the Karen Reed case. And then I've pointed out 3 cases where the police should be given fucking pats on the back and rewards. Right? There's a case out of Florida where they arrested the guy's pickup truck instead of him. Why? Well, they arrested his pickup truck because it was the only thing that they could prove was at the scene of the murder that night. They could not prove how it got there or who brought it there. And so the police went to a judge and got a warrant to subpoena the truck. And they essentially, I mean, it sounds funny, but they arrested the truck. They took the truck in and they took it apart and found the woman that was murdered, her blood in the truck. Okay. Now they know that this man's truck is involved in the murder of his ex-wife. They know that man's truck was on the property the night she was killed. And for that blood now to be in a truck he owns is a justifiable reason to arrest a man for murder, in which they went and did. Then they finally got her fucking surveillance cameras where all of the video was stored in the cloud. She had bought some budget fucking company and it was stored in the Chinese cloud. Took them months to get that out. But once the cloud video was released, the recordings confirmed that this man killed his wife. But my point is this, is as citizens, it's not my job to do the cop's job. As a citizen, I got to be an idiot to think I can use my cell phone to solve a quadruple homicide. I got to be a complete fucking idiot to think I can do that. And that's exactly where Pavarotti is and so many other people that are out there giving you all of these theories. These jerk-offs like Tommy Jude and their reflections. It's just nonsense, the things these people are. And they're accusing people from the grub truck. They're accusing other college students that are running down fucking some road. They're accusing a guy that drives a white pickup. What's the fucking point in all of that? Is that entertaining for people? I mean, I don't get it. There's so many things in the world that we could pay attention to as a group of people that are part of true crime. And as part of being a true crime, if we banded together and stayed with only the facts and came to some kind of consensus, then why aren't we sending information to the lawyers that are involved? Why aren't we sending information to their governor, to their mayor, to their town board, to their... I mean, this is insane. How can a police officer say in a document that all that video shows Brian Kohlberger there, but then when asked if all of the video they collected, if any of it can confirm Brian Kohlberger or Brian Kohlberger's car, and that cop says no, well, then what did you rely on to write the PCA? Those things matter because they affect your children, your children's children, your neighbor's children, my children. Those are the things that true crime should be centered on. Not sitting on the internet all fucking day looking at fucking pictures from the grub truck and then accusing all of these other people of being involved. The drugs did it. The fraternity boys did it. The fucking holy Enon did it. Fucking Kopeka did it. Don't you see how ill fucking conceived that kind of engagement is? It's rather disgusting when you get honest with yourself. Imagine if you lived around them people. And you were one of the ones. What if you or your kid was at that grub truck that night? I don't know who was involved. I don't know. I don't know who. I don't even know that Brian was involved or was not involved. I don't know. There's no fact that can give us that answer. And you're not going to find that fact because you falsely accuse others of being involved. Or you decide that guy at the grub truck is involved and you try to build some conspiracy around him. You can't accuse the fucking DoorDash guy because there's not enough information to do so. You can't accuse the guy that dropped him off at night. You can't accuse the frat. You can't. There's no evidence to support that. So why would you want to create stories to impugn these people? To target these people with allegations that aren't verifiable? I don't understand where people's brains have gone. Have we literally surrendered our capacity to think to the fucking group? Is that what we've done? You take a guy like Pavarotti and enough people start watching him, you want to become that part of that group. Your ability now to think depends on that group's thoughts. Oh my God. I just don't understand how people have gotten to that point where you allow I don't want people in here. I want people in here to disagree with me. I also expect you to disagree because you have a piece of information I'm misinterpreting or I don't have. And I welcome that soundly. I put a fucking phone number up for people to call me. I have nothing to hide. I have no horse in this race. I've listened to it myself, what he's saying. I hear what he's saying, and he's going with all these booms, and Ann should do this, and Ann should do that. But he's also told many stories about who did do it, where these things actually show up, what these pings actually mean, what they're. He doesn't know the answer to that. He's making wild assumptions, and he's creating a fucking story to combine with them. Okay? See that? He's absolutely doing it to Zaina's mother and Maddie's stepmom and dad. This is what I mean, Debbie. How do you even associate with people like that? That's called gossip. All you're doing is gossiping. That doesn't help. I hope the people that connect to that guy and think he's doing a great thing, I hope that happens to you, your friends, your neighbors, and your relatives. So you can understand my point to heart. It isn't possible to solve the case on the internet. And it's wackadoodle. It's wackadoodle. To throw all of these different people out there. No, he's not. You got to get out of here, Deb. I'm sorry. You could be the prettiest girl in the world, but you're about as fucking dumb as the fucking rock that's outside my back door. You got to go, honey. See ya. You claimed Koberger took a shit off a cell tower near Moscow. Yeah, that's as accurate as the shit Pavarotti is saying. Brian Koberger climbed a cell tower after he turned off his phone and took a shit right from the top of the cell tower. He absolutely did do that. I don't really care about hearing stuff like that, Norma. That's not part of the case that we're being observed. This is what I mean. If you think you can solve this case because of what someone says, thinks, then you don't belong in here. You really don't. There's no room for that in here. I don't want to know what people did with the red car behind that house. It's not part of the fucking case. How the fuck you people think it's okay to act like this and talk like this and gossip like this and impugn others? Oh my God, what a bunch of sick motherfuckers out here. Listen, you can impugn, you could fucking call me names, you could point out my what would you call those things? Character flaws, fine. They're there for you to see. They're irrelevant because I'm out here fucking being me. That's perfectly acceptable. I'd rather you do that than tell me that fucking Zaina's mother's involved. Or bring that fucking conversation in here. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear about a little red car. I don't want to hear none of that. It's got nothing to do with nothing. Nothing. I don't know how so many people can't wrap their mind around such a simple fucking point. It's just so simple. I don't care how many facts that Paparazzi or whatever the fuck his jerk off name is, he's got that tardive dyskinesia in his fucking eyebrows. You got to watch the guy's forehead twitch and jump around. It's a fight. He ought to paint some fucking characters up there so that they move. I bet you could paint a character of a horse's ass and someone fucking it when he gets a twitch. That would be more entertaining. If you want to be entertained in true crime, that's what he should do. Listen, there's no argument at this point about somebody calling. There's none of that as part of this case. Okay? There's just none of this part of the case, Norman. And you want to talk about what someone said or didn't say or could have said or might have said, even if it's real, it matters none. What's that got to do with the case in front of us? Nothing. And how you can't accept that, it's just incredible to me. You're like a fucking Jeff H. Do I need to play the Jeff? We don't need to be Jeff H again. That fucking jerk off has pulled up next to us one time too many and jerked off in front of us. We don't really want to associate with people like that. Take that stuff back to the paparazzi fucking crowd. Take that, like these fucking, you got facts and nobody wants to hear facts. 6 million people died because so many fucking you jerk offs out there didn't want to listen to facts. Millions and millions and millions of kids got fucking heart problems today because so many of you cocksuckers didn't want to research the fucking facts. And you jumped on the fucking bandwagon. You let other people think for you, and whatever conclusion they gave you, you ran around supporting. Are you fucking people insane? You destroy yourselves, your neighbors, your kids, your legacy. You destroy everything because you don't take the minute to think. It's fucking crazy, man. The shower curtains are innocent. They gave an inventory list. Whatever happened to Brian Kohlberger had the IDs of the victims in his gloves in Pennsylvania? Where are you fucking people with that? Where's that not been turned into? You turned that, everything that gets turned into a story. That stupid little bitch named Dot coming out here telling us she was on a balcony overlooking the property and she saw Dylan and that other girl with the black boyfriend out back fucking smoking. They were smoking weed out back. I seen them. And then the next minute she's saying she's down there smoking it with him. Lying piece of shit. And how many of you guys grabbed that? Look at the fucking Linda Lane footage. Where's the Linda Lane footage a part of this? Who said in the beginning when that first came out that was a distraction? The first minute I started showing Rory and fucking Dago that our concentration ought to be on the people that were in that house, not the fucking video of some car up on Linda Lane. And I walked away from true crime because of the ignorance of that fucking video. Okay? It's incredible, folks. It's all distractions. And it's all because you people feed in, not so much the regular people that come in here, but some of you that come from the outside in, fuck. I don't want you to subscribe to my channel. I gave my opinion. I challenged Jenna Fibber on X with the shower curtain. Linda Lane needs to be trashed. Okay, I don't object to looking at something like that, but to then create all these narratives and these stories around it is where I draw the line, because none of that footage, as far as we can see at this point, is part of this criminal proceeding. And it's the criminal proceeding, it's the allegations that matter here. You're just not gonna solve the crime. If we had like a 80 or 90% fucking crime solving ability, you wouldn't need local detectives out there. You would just need some jerk off with a cell phone, right? I call her Jennifer Cum Dumpster. I called that right to her on the fucking on her timeline, and she acknowledged it and said that was highly uncalled for. I said it right to the bitch. Yeah. I'm torn between you getting involved and not giving a shit. Uh-oh. Poor Grant, you're fucked up. Holy Christ. Yeah, it's just that's the one thing that I really like. I talk with Twiz and many and Heather and many people, right? Yeah, Rory's had that opportunity. He was supposed to call me if he was going to ever come back online, but he ran to his little crew and never contacted me. And I think a lot of that was because I go so hard after Tommy Jude. That filthy fuck saying 4 frat boys were pissing on Ethan's face up on Linda Lane. That's just filth, man. There's a guy in the dumpster. He must have done it. Did anybody check that dumpster for a knife? For fuck's sakes. Look, there's some guy running. Well, it seems to be that even Brian Koberger was a runner. I mean, where's there any talk about running in this prosecution? He's found a creak in the car boot that I don't know what the fuck he found. That really, that just drew, that was too far, way over the fucking top. And these people, and he's like a cult leader. Pavarotti too. Pavarotti's very smooth. I had to put on a 3-piece suit, go get my hair and beard done, and come out here and try to present myself like I work for Fox News or something, or present myself in a very calm and educated manner. There's things to be said about how Jeff H. handles information, and some of those ways I completely disagree with, and I wish people of that nature would stay away. On the other hand, you do have information from Officer Payne, who's made the PCA, and under any time he's asked, tells us that in fact many people are part of that PCA. He just signed it, and you've got warrants that were written by Joe Blow from Idaho, and Officer Payne signed the warrant himself. And when you take a look at how all that stuff worked out, you can't connect those dots, and therefore it's most likely Brian didn't do it. I mean, who the fuck wants to be like that? I don't need nothing from you people. I need nothing. There's nothing from you folks. And people that get me, they get me. I think you're referring to Linda Lane. Well, no, the problem with Linda Lane is the homeowner copied it before he gave it to probably the homeowner copied what he had, because the homeowner probably knows what a lot of you seem to openly ignore, is that shit can generate a lot of revenue through clicks and everything else. Yeah, I do. I have a beard and mustache. Not a big one like Cletus. And I'm sorry, but as each case comes forward and as each piece of evidence is handed to us, it's worth discussing what they're telling us. It's worth weighing it against what's verifiable. Norma, I think Linda Lane was copied by the homeowner if, in fact, the homeowner did turn it over to the police. But I don't think that Linda Lane has anything at all to do with establishing a vehicle being involved in the crime. This is where a lot of the guilters and a lot of these folks that are arguing about who did it and who didn't do it, they're not really looking at what's in front of them. And at this point, there is not a single source of evidence that makes any car involved in this crime at all. There's no evidence to show that a vehicle drove up, parked, and people or persons got out of that vehicle and went into that home. There is no evidence of that. And so that's worth discussing. That's worth marking down and keeping note of. I don't know, boss. Yeah, let's not talk about Jeff H. and his theories. This guy, it's kind of like you get into a discussion with people with the flat earth, and they don't want to tell you the evidence of what makes the earth flat. They want you to prove to them, to their satisfaction, that the earth is a sphere. And it's not, it's a geoid. But anyway, we'll call it round for simple sake. That's the first thing a flat earther wants. They want you to convince them the earth is round, because if you can do that, then they'll agree with you. And that's what Jeff H. is all about. He'll let you, no, I'm not even going to get into it. I have no interest in having conversations with people like that. You're more than worse. You make a waste of time look productive. Okay? I'd rather figure out a way to chew my own fucking toenails than talk to somebody like that. Yeah, and that's not relevant to the actual data that's being released through the court process. I don't know where people think they're going to find better information. You think paparazzi digging because paparazzi looks up a code and he tells you what the code means, and paparazzi tells you this and paparazzi tells you that? There's nothing Ann Taylor is doing that I didn't say 2 years ago she was going to do. I even said that they weren't going to go to a preliminary hearing. The chances are he would get indicted. And what happened? They went around the preliminary hearing with a secret grand jury and indicted the guy. I said everything she's doing in her motions is everything I discussed immediately upon reading the PCA. There was no hesitation. There was no reason for me. I mean, it's obvious to me what that document does say and does not say. And that doesn't mean Brian's innocent or guilty one way or the other. It just simply means that their documents are insufficient. They are not reasonable or they are not probable cause. They never were. Yeah, what did Ann Taylor say about the police report there, Steve? But Steve, what did she say about a police report? Twiz, you're being addressed here. What new police report? Yeah, she was given discovery the day of that hearing. I mean, she's finding things out the day of the hearing that she's been asking for fucking 2 years. Unreal. Poor Heather. She's all distressed over the toenail comment. You guys chat for me. I'll be right back. We're going to take a urinary break. Okay. I wonder if Brian's P was on the snap. I still want to know if profile C is if B and D are unknown. Who the fuck is C? She learned it. Yeah, someone was running up and down the stairs. Right. And she just learned about that day or that week or whatever. She just finally had gotten to this complete discovery on Dylan's fucking interviews. 3 times she was interviewed. Now we know. We didn't know. And there's so much we don't know about those interviews. I'm telling you, every one of these things I could drag out for an entire morning, if not a whole day in a court of law. When it came to questions that need to be answered and the suspects and the people involved that need to answer these questions. I would like to know. Was she checked for any of the victim's blood? Was her room checked? Blase, blah. I'd go through everything step by step. Did you bring in a female officer and strip search the survivor and go through the survivor to make sure that the survivor had none of the indications of involvement? No, why not? Why did you exclude that survivor? Well, no. Explain to us why you excluded the survivor. Under what circumstances? What evidence do you have to exclude her? I don't want to know how you feel. That's what these jerk offs in fucking YouTube. Well, I believed, she was so distraught. I couldn't believe she was involved. Oh, okay. Unbelievable. Oh, that's what he calls a sheath. Okay. What about the leg? Remember, Heather, we have 4 DNA samples. 3 unidentified male DNAs that CODIS ID'd as male, and 1 on the knife sleeve that they extrapolated, modified, and fucked with and turned into Kohberger. Okay, I accept it to be Kohberger's DNA. Let's go with that. It's his DNA. Who are the other three? There's so many fucking things that are just so elusively hidden from us. It took until 2 years to find out there was blood on the glove outside the house. 2 years to find out there was blood on the handrail leading up to the second and third floor. Yeah, and the only profile on that sheet is Brian Kohberger. I want to say this too, and I think for these people that don't understand the magnitude of the DNA, when they find an unidentified dead body, they're not looking for pico fucking grams of fucking skin cells to identify it. This is why this is called the clown of fucking DNA science. It's literally the clown show, this transfer DNA. When you find a dead body, you try to obtain a full DNA sample, right? You cut into the fucking bone. You use pieces of the bone. You use pieces of the marrow. You have a capacity to produce a full workable DNA sample. In that fucking element, I understand IgG's effectiveness. So now you have a full sample. You don't have to fucking manipulate it or alter it or magnify it or jerk off on it. In this case, you're talking about 8 or 10 skin cells that could not provide an identification to anybody in the fucking universe. So what they did with Kohberger is completely different than what genealogists are doing when they're solving crimes. These motherfuckers got full samples. This lab, this Othram lab, their claim to fame is they can ID somebody, okay, with less than 20, whatever the fuck, 20 pieces of dead skin cell. Whatever word you use, genealogy. I don't know the terminology, but I do know that it's not that fucking complex. Identifying a dead person that's been dead for fucking 6 months or 10 years, okay? You have the opportunity to obtain a full fucking sample of fucking DNA. That makes your search searchable. All right, so centimorgans. How about when you get down to under 12 centimorgans in your swab? Now you're talking about an almost zero fucking, you're closer to zero than you are anything. And then they've got to amplify that, right? And then they got to fuck with that DNA. In other words, that evidence isn't the original evidence anymore. I have a problem with that. That sample wasn't viable, and they should not have taken it to the FBI. They should have accepted it as being unviable. They should have concentrated on the blood which would have contained more information than would some tiny fucking skin cell amount. And yet, to our understanding, at this moment in time, they didn't go any further with the blood than to find out it wasn't in CODIS. So, you know, I don't understand who made these decisions to do what they did with Mr. Kohberger. They certainly, you do genealogy. Does that make sense to you if you've got 2 blood samples, one on a glove right outside the sliding door that the cops claim is how the perp exited, and one on a banister or handrail that leads to and from the 3rd floor where the victims were slaughtered? You mean to tell me that those 2 pieces of blood, those 2 blood samples in those 2 locations aren't important? And they don't match each other. So you have 4 single source DNA fucking sources in this property. And from what we understand, it looks like that. But GED match gave them nothing. They had to break into MyHeritage. They had to go backdoor into MyHeritage with whatever sample they had to connect it to anybody related to Brian. GEDmatch and the other law enforcement database. Yeah, and they illegally used that database. With an amplified sample. Look, I have a problem. I know you do genealogy work, but if you have a sample that is too small, amplifying it or doing something is, to me, altering that evidence. Right? I don't know. But even so, here's the argument about the DNA. Here's the whole bottom line of the DNA. The DNA's existence and its identification, it should not be admissible because they lied. It's not illegal to do that. There's no law that says they can't. There's terms of service and there's guidelines. So these fuckers in the department and the judicial system are a bunch of jerk offs, right? See, I know it does. False positives. I know. It's much more complex than people want to give credit to. They just think the idea of that transfer DNA can't be it. That's it. It's 100% right. And I'm sorry, I just don't agree with that. You took the most microscopic sample, amplified it, and then had to alter it to then use it to go to do genealogy. None of it should be usable. 100% genealogy. We all agree with that. But let me say that it's not usable for a simpler reason. Here's a reason why it shouldn't be usable. The presence of the DNA and even finding out who it might belong to is fine. I don't object to that. Okay? But when all of the information that you allege places him at the scene of the crime and all of it is a lie, it's a blatant lie, then all you're left with is that DNA sample. And all that DNA sample can do is say that this is a person of this known this is the known person that DNA belongs to. But it can't place that person at the crime. It can't prove that in and of itself is not a piece of evidence that can prove that they committed a crime. The presence of the DNA itself is probable cause. I will accept that. I don't argue that from the court. Okay? The judge could have taken just the DNA and ruled that that would be reasonable. Well, you're saying no. Why no? No. Go back. Wait a minute. Everybody calm down. She's a genealogist. Relax. Yeah, it was a match to the father, more importantly. But let's just go with the fact that they found your DNA. Like here. They found my fingerprint on a door hinge. And there was a crime on the other side of that door where firearms were stolen. That was enough for them to charge me with a crime. That was enough for them to get an arrest warrant. And they arrested me. When they went to indict me, they then had to disclose, which they didn't do for Kohlberger, that I was the maintenance man, that I just painted that and was still currently in the process of painting the entire hallway and all the apartment doors and everything. And that explained the presence of my fucking fingerprint. And that was reasonable doubt. And the fingerprint alone couldn't be used to convict me of robbery. No, they didn't have to have something to start with him. This is where I kind of go a little bit more into the understanding of what the judge is saying. If you find a piece of DNA at a crime scene and it's relevant to the location of the crime scene, then you have probable cause to get warrants, and I'll agree with that, warrants to investigate him. I don't believe that this particular transfer DNA sample in this case would be enough to arrest him for a quadruple homicide. Okay? The DNA itself was enough to issue warrants to give permission to search his car, to search him, to question him, to pull him in too. Okay? I think that there people have to realize that any evidence that identifies you at a crime scene makes you a suspect. And that evidence on its face, when something like DNA, because you see how these people get about DNA online. No, it doesn't say that it should never give you a name. It's to be used to identify potential suspects. That's what it's to be used for. If the DNA or if the results that you're going to pull out of a database are going to be used in a court of law, then everything must be documented. And in this case, nothing that the FBI and the IGG workers did, nothing was documented and saved. I agree, Heather. You can't trust, but let's go back to what I was trying to show you. Let's all calm down for a second. Let's pretend we live in a world where a piece of evidence that connects to you is found at a murder scene. Do you agree, one or two, do you agree that you are now a suspect in that murder? Let's not argue about what that piece of evidence is. Let's just say a piece of evidence connects to you. and it's at a crime scene. Don't you not understand that that makes you a suspect in the crime? Okay. So that's the whole point I made in the very beginning about this case. That being a suspect and not the alleged perpetrator are two different things. So once they had the identification of Bryan Kohberger, Ann pointed this out too in court the other day, folks. I don't know if you're not listening to what she's saying, but they didn't at that point have any searching of his car. They didn't have any searching of his fucking house, him, his parents' house, his place. They had none of that done yet, folks. They just got the DNA sample. What I'm saying is that DNA sample and the identity, just accept it for what it is, would be your diving board. And you're going to take that and you're going to use that as a diving board to get your ass into the pool. Right? I see that to be completely fine. Now, once you land in the water, it's your job to build a case that supports or can show that the DNA is at the crime scene because you committed the crime. Having the DNA and alleging that I did the crime are two different fucking things. They're two different processes. And they never followed the processes that are involved to do that. I'm just saying, let's just take the DNA for what it is. Just accept it for what it is and start looking at the case through being sensible. The DNA doesn't have as big of an impact as people think it does. DNA is circumstantial evidence. So is blood and so is a fingerprint. How people don't know that is shocking to me. It's circumstantial. It shows a possibility that you were there when this crime happened. It does not confirm that you were there. It's other evidence that connects you to the scene of the crime that makes the DNA so fucking powerful, that makes the fingerprint so powerful that you can't get away from the accusation. You all understand that, right? So we have video of Bryan getting out of a car. And this video is not fucking ambiguous. This video is clear. And walks towards that house. And then we have 17 minutes later, video of him running back to a car, jumping in it and speeding away. Those actions are consistent with the point that DNA was left there because he was there. But without the evidence to put him there at the time of the crime, the DNA evidence, you might as well wipe your ass with it. Whether it be blood or whether it be transfer DNA, it doesn't matter. Its presence in the crime scene isn't something that will convict you without the circumstances to place you there. That was always my problem, folks, and I still have the problem. You don't have to be afraid that his DNA was there, right? Right. Exactly correct. You know, this is what I mean. So many of us in this what they call true crime, or even so many of us in politics, we don't even know how the system works. If you don't know how the system works, then you can't understand what it is you're hearing. You're taking facts or you're not taking facts, and you're putting your spin or your belief or your think of what's right and wrong against it. And that's not how you examine stuff. You need to know how the system works to a significant extent so that, look, I don't object to Kohberger's fucking DNA being on that knife sheet. I don't need to explain how it got there. It's not even Kohberger's job. Okay? It just isn't. But DNA at a crime scene with no connective tissue to the owner means you need to find more suspects. Means you need to find out more accurately the location and movement of the person that owns that DNA. And if through that process of investigation, you cannot connect him to the crime scene, then the DNA is an aberration. Okay? It's a horrific coincidence for the owner of the DNA, but it shouldn't be used to destroy his life. And what apparently seems to be happening here is give the actual perpetrator or perpetrators an escape route. To me, that's more of what I'm seeing here. And those perpetrators could have been working with Bryan. We don't know that they weren't. You see? Like I said before, if I were Officer Payne, I would have looked for phone pings of any Elantra that night. I would have went through the databases of who owned Elantras. Okay? And if they were within that range, I would have then went to a court for a warrant and to see if any of those particular cars were in that particular area. Maybe you can't even get a warrant like that. I don't know. If you can't get a warrant like that, then you can't make that assessment. But it would seem to me that they could. Correct, Wiz. You got to prove that the type of car you're looking for was right enough. And it's got to be unquestionably provable. Not an opinion. It has to be factually provable. I mean, that's the same thing is people don't, it's almost as if facts and the truth don't matter to people anymore. They just want to be right. That's it. They just want to be right. It's insane. Like with J6. Yeah, he may be. But to me, that doesn't have anything to do with how this case was done. Miss Q. Missy Q. I don't. Those are those things that all these other fucking streamers want to have a discussion about. He was friends with Fry. Who cares? Who cares? Let's look at the veracity of the information laid in front of us. Let's connect the dots. If the dots don't connect, I want to know who the next suspect may be. Right? Maybe you can arrest someone that'll fucking flip on Brian. I don't know. So, well, it's been quite a night. We got fucking masturbated at by old fucking masturbation boy Jeff. That shit was crazy. Did you see that video there, genealogy girl, that I played? I'm not going to play it again. I'm going to spare everybody the fucking torture of that video. Holy fuck. That's what I mean. I used to talk with people on, when it was Twitter, I would talk to a lot of people about the Russiagate thing. And, people are, and I said this, genealogy, you'll remember that. Remember during that stuff with Comey and during the fucking Russiagate and all of these accusations against Trump? Do you remember me saying at the end that the people that actually did this, that are responsible for this, a good number of them are going to be names you never heard of in your life? They were never discussed. They were never brought to fucking light. And you guys keep chasing Comey. And in the end, what did we find out? Many of the people that were deeply involved in creating this fucking game, this lie, were names we'd never heard of before. It's exactly how it worked out. Because people didn't want to pay attention to the process of how the system works. And that system needs to be corrected. Does anybody know, did they approve Kash Patel for FBI yet? Did they approve RFK? Does anybody know? Yeah, you remember those days. I still got all those clips and all that stuff from there. Oh, Patel is tomorrow. Okay, good. I'm not a big fan of Patel. We'll see how he does. I'm not a big fan of Ratcliffe. We'll see how he does. I'm glad he brought someone like Pam Bondi in to be the what do you call that position she's got there? Attorney General. I'm glad he brought in a prosecutor from a different state that wasn't a Washington fucking whore. I'm glad he did that. Yeah, I don't trust that Kash Patel. Yep, you have all those videos too. You're a crazy girl there, genealogy. She used to take my videos, and before I could wake up the next day, the fucking videos would be all chopped up. They would be all fucking set up for distribution all over the fucking Twitter. It was awesome. Because Kash Patel's got a history of being within that system for quite a long time. And I'd rather somebody go into Washington that doesn't work in Washington. Like, how about that one general that when he went to Afghanistan, and I forget the guy. Do you remember that general's name? Where Trump said they're told it could take up to 5 years. And this guy said, Mr. President, we can have these terrorists taken care of in 2 months. You just got to give us the okay. He was like, are you sure? What was that general's name? Do you remember his name? He had a really fucking cool name. He had the perfect name for that job. I don't know if I mean, and that guy took out the terrorists in Afghanistan in 2 months. And Trump was like besides himself. To me, that guy should have been brought into the administration. And that's kind of what I was hoping Trump could do. Yeah, well, a lot of people did that. Lindsey Graham did that. Fucking that other jerk off that did the CIA did that. So I wish I knew that fucking military guy's name. That ought to be put on a billboard that Trump can see from the fucking Oval Office so we can remember that guy. Patel did undercover, but a lot of these people were coming out with shit that they uncovered. And nothing ever happened with it. I forget that. It's going to come to me. I just think that a lot more outsiders of people that you can trust would be effective. And he's doing that. RFK is an outsider. There's a few of them in there. Yeah, but then I don't really, these documentaries are going to be there to stroke people. He put Ratcliffe back in there. Okay, I'm not too really fucking content with Ratcliffe. Who the fuck was that guy that ran the CIA? He was a big fat dude and he lost a lot of weight. He was a senator and a congressman, and it was insane. He hid for a long time underground bunker. I don't know. There's some documentary about Cash. And Cash, like, people are big fans of General Flynn. I think General Flynn that's it, Pompeo. Yeah, that's it, Pompeo. Not Brennan. Brennan is a fucking communist piece of shit. But Pompeo protected he protected the deep state. I don't like the idea that he put Marco Rubio in for Secretary of State. I don't like that at all. And the reason, I'll tell you why I don't like it, is because Marco Rubio, to me, is the male version of Hillary Clinton, in a sense. He'll enrich himself off of that position while he's in it. And I think that puts President Trump in danger. So not danger so much as like harm, but you're responsible for those that you hire. And I'm not real happy with Marco Rubio. So there's a few things that he's done. And I'm also very upset, as I always was, with him, with all these executive orders. Cut it the fuck out, bro. Bring these issues to Congress and get laws passed. These places where all the oil is, get it off the federal registry. Sell that fucking land to Americans. Turn that land over to a fucking group of people in that area and make the oil companies pay revenue to those people. Fuck that bullshit where every fucking 4 years a new president's going to come in and take the Gulf of fucking America. See what I just did there? And tell the guys in the Gulf they can't fucking drill. The guys in Alaska, they can't drill. The guys, unless it's on private land. Well, fuck you. Make the federal land where all the oil is, make it private again. That would be a big deal. Now we would have energy security forever. You see? These are the things I want to see Trump do. Those are permanent answers to problems that we keep fucking suffering every time you get a Democrat in there, he's going to fuck everything up. And they did. Joe's proof of that. And then Trump's going to come in and fix everything. And if JD Vance don't win and some fucking Democrat wins, they're going to destroy everything Trump just did. Again, you're going to be so Trump must get and here's the thing. We, the fucking people, need to create a centralized fucking website, be it fucking X or somewhere, where things like this get spoken out loud. You don't even got to vote for Trump to understand the sense in that, right? They're playing some games with it, but that's just drama so that they keep you attached to the fucking TV. I don't even give a fuck who gets approved or who don't get approved. I see the names in the mission and that's all I can do. I don't give them any, I don't want to hear any of their talking points. I don't give a fuck. I played a video in here the other day of fucking my woman AOC. I'd be hit that shit, boy. AOC. And she was saying what I've been saying for years about user agreements and corporations spying on us. If you're going to ban TikTok for doing that because China owns it, then you got to ban all these corporations. That's the biggest problem on earth. Yeah, Bondi is. She was she's the attorney general. But you see what I mean? Gina, None of us treat the government like we run the government. We treat the government like we're fucking enslaved by it. But we, the people, fuck that nonsense with this federally regulated land where all our oil is. Who the fuck are you, federal government? I think the state of Nevada, I think only like 12 or 14% of that is fucking non-federal. And very few people talk about going after user agreements that these websites force us to follow, and that bullshit like YouTube and Facebook and fucking Instagram and TikTok and whatever the fucking else you're on. These corporations should have no fucking right to our privacy. Our privacy should be protected more than anything else on this world. And yet, in order for you to participate or send a picture to your grandmother, you got to agree to let fucking Zuckerberg sniff your fucking ass. That needs to stop. TikTok, all of them. And guess what? Little AOC was out there on a fucking video pointing that out. And where were the Republicans joining fucking forces with her? Why does she got to be a Republican to agree with her? We all have a middle ground that we all must maintain or everything falls apart. I don't give a fuck if you want to chop your penis off. That's got nothing to do with energy independence. That's got nothing to do with anything that makes us have a society that we can all, in order for you to want to cut your dick off, you got to live here. And to live here, you need things just like I need them. So who's there? You can call her. You can call her and tell her that your FBI, there's misconduct in your FBI when dealing with local law enforcement. And so that's a good point. The problem with the fucking with that genealogy game that they played by going into the databases they're not authorized to go into, that needs to be stopped. That's something that Kash Patel needs to be addressed on. Who the fuck do you guys think you are? These users, in all fairness, the user agreement gives the consumer the confidence that their information is private. You can't go out in public and not expect your picture to be taken. I understand that. But when I join a website and that website says that the police need warrants to search the databases and that you'll be notified, right? Or even if you're not notified, but that they're going to follow legal channels in order to get to your information, and then the cops go around that, that's a violation of my Fourth Amendment right. There need not be a law to protect me from that. I have the natural, comfortable fucking opinion that that is where my privacy is. Inside your home. They can't put microphones and come in here and take your DNA off your fucking carpet. You have an absolute right to privacy. And when you join websites and those websites are telling you that law enforcement must use warrants to get access to your personal info or any personal information in the database, and the cops can sneak in through a back door and get that info. This is exactly what they did here. And it was because they went in the back door that they were able to build a tree against Brian Koberger. They were at a dead end on the two databases and CODIS, and the two companies that allow law enforcement free reign. They could not build a tree. There was nothing in there to allow them to build a tree until they went to MyHeritage, which prohibits them from going in there. Right? No. But there's an expected privacy rights that this site is giving you. Unlike these other sites that tell you that if you're going to join Facebook, you got to let me this and that and this and that. And they track your phone. They send phone, like now I get text messages from companies. I don't want anybody text messaging me, let alone some fucking jerk off company because I got a fucking Android phone. I don't need you texting me and telling me about a deal on a truck or something. That is true. And the argument, here's the best thing is, and I don't think any other streamer picked up on this, is the argument that the state gave was that you can't reasonably expect privacy when you know as an American citizen that those databases are often gotten into and user information is stolen. Let me just say how important this point is, and I'm going to end the stream on this. Okay? When a prosecuting attorney says that your right to privacy can't be accepted when you join a website and exchange personal information with them because of the fact that that website can be broken into and that information can be stolen. That tells you just what kind of a no good piece of shit that human being is and has no business being part of your justice system. I can't even tell you in how many quadrillion fucking ways for words like that to come out of the mouth of a fucking law enforcement official that works for us is sick. Is sick. I expect my privacy. Okay? And if someone breaks down my door, that's different. That's a crime. Someone's committing a crime against me and my privacy. Did you hear him say that in that hearing, Heather? I wanted to go to fucking Idaho and slap that motherfucker live on TV. What in the fuck kind of an asshole are you? Right? How dare he use that as an argument that you don't have the right, you don't have the expectation of privacy when you're on the internet. We all know that stuff gets stolen and taken all the time. No, motherfucker. Then I don't have the fucking expectation my house is private because we all fucking know houses get broken into all the time. Man, someone boy. That's why I can't be a lawyer. I'd have jumped up from that fucking defense table and fucking slapped that motherfucker. You ignorant cocksucker. What the fuck is wrong with you? I don't have an expectation of privacy. Of course I do. They motion for PO. What's a PO? No, Heather, it's a ridiculous statement. That's how these guilters and these innocenters are out here. That's why so many people follow guys like Pavarotti. They don't understand. The capacity to think has been erased. There's a group of people that think Pavarotti's great, so we all go watch Pavarotti. We don't even question what the guy says. We're just, the fucking word retard ought to be labeled across 5.63 billion people online. You're all fucking retarded. No, it's just that people start standing together in a group. We got 70 people in here. I keep asking people. I could support a small payroll. I could even monetize this site to cover the payroll of people that want to get involved. We do need to create a website or a fucking social media site. Okay? Something like we aren't going to take it anymore. As Americans, we aren't going to take it anymore. And start listing our grievances and have form letters that everybody can put their fucking check mark on. Right? I agree to this fucking philosophy that all our privacy information should be kept private. That fucking Google and fucking Amazon have no right to sell my personal data. And after every transaction, my personal data must be deleted from their fucking system. Right? I can opt in. There's so many things we could do if we just, you got the most powerful weapon humanity has ever been in possession of, and that's called instant fucking worldwide communication. There's nothing more powerful than this. Look what happened to Budweiser when they used a fucking transgender to advertise their beer. So many people have been insanely group thought into fucking hating people like that. What do you hate that person for? It ain't none of your fucking business what they do with their body, right? It ain't none of you. How come people aren't hating on women that put in fake titties? That's okay. But some fucking weirdo that wants to be a girl that's a guy, that's just that's a bridge too far. Really? A bridge too far to what? Pretty soon you're going to have robots. We're going to become extinct because we can't get fucking along with each other. Idaho has a very, very fucked up judicial system. I agree, Norma. What is it, Phelan? Let's do it. Yeah, and that's the sadness is let me see here. I don't want to ban her. What is it? Oh, I got to go somewhere else to do that. Where is that? Look at that. We'll add her as a standard moderator there. So we gave Norma there a blue wrench. Just so you know, Norma, now your status has been increased. I don't know why Twizzlestick. I think Twizzlestick doesn't get a blue wrench because Twizzlestick will come in here every night to talk, but he just won't call in. We'll try to bait him in as a standard fucking moderator. Fucking Twizzle. Don't twizzle me this and twizzle me that. All right? I don't need to be twizzled. In all fairness to me. Yeah, that's tragic. So we all got, what do you call it? We all got another tragedy to deal with. But yeah, we need to start to build an effective fucking force of people that want to promote honest fucking things that help benefit every single person, not giving a fuck who they voted for, who they didn't vote for. It's got nothing to do with it. Fixing my roads has got nothing to do with a Republican or a Democrat, right? I want my grid. I want my power lines and my energy transmission to be upgraded all across the fucking country, right? I want people to come across that border legally, that have merit, that have the skills that can combine and can add to the society. And those people that were fucking raped and sodomized and abused by their government, I want to try to find a safe place for them. But more importantly, I want to see governments like that eradicated by their own people, not by America bombing you. But anyway, I mean, we can go on and on and on and on and on and on. In our small land of America, we have been stripped of the fact that we are the government. We've really been stripped of that, and we don't act like that. We act like we're victims to the things these people do, and we're only victims because we allow ourselves to be victims. Yeah, but we don't have any rights, Norma. We are born free. You're born free. Nobody gives you a right to be here. Good to see you again too, Jeannie. You need to come around because you can help organize the point that I'm trying to make. We are a free society. The Constitution isn't a list of rights. The Constitution is a guardrail that the government shall not cross. That isn't, you don't have the right to free speech. You were born free in this nation. It's not even something that can be questioned. Free people say what they want. There's no law that gives you that permission. The law tells the government it shall not infringe, and it shall protect every citizen's right to speak freely. That's the whole point of government. Government doesn't exist to give this country anybody. Maybe it does in France and it does in England. It fucking does in Saudi Arabia. It does in Mexico. Not here. In Canada. Not here. Our Constitution is written to prevent government from infringing upon free people in every shape or form. Okay? And so, for whatever reason, I'm so sick of people saying we have constitutional rights. No, you don't. You have no rights from the Constitution. Your right was given at birth. Your existence is all the rights you could ever dream of. You want to own a gun? Go own a gun. Your home? Sacrosanct. Nobody could kick in your fucking door and come take you to jail. That's why I'm so animate about the Kohberger case. Don't you dare fucking tell me your fucking experience, okay, as a law enforcement officer for 15 years suggests that people turn off their phones prior to committing a crime to mask their location from the cops. Now, as true as that isn't proof Brian turned off his fucking phone. And you're talking about a guy that's got a PhD. He's an upstanding fucking citizen. At best, he's got a traffic ticket. And you're gonna accuse this man of a quadruple fucking homicide? You're gonna assemble facts that are lies to place him somewhere he never was? With your information that you're giving us, he couldn't have been there with your, and you manipulated it to suggest to a court that he was there, to the public. You call him a stalker? That all lies. The government has no business crossing that guardrail. Right? We're born. The fact that you're born here is you're free. Every one of those things listed in the Constitution is a guardrail to prevent government from crossing into this. What you're seeing in the Constitution isn't a right. It's a list of what free men are entitled to. Free men and women. This is how free men and women. Okay? If we're going to have a government, you're going to govern us based on these principles as free people. We are not going to answer to you. We're not, we ran and got massive wars with England because of tax on tea. Look at us now. Look at us now. And we're in fear of this government. We're in fear of their tax collectors. We're in fear of them. You can't have a job unless you go do what we tell you to do. If you don't do the specific thing we're telling you to do, you can't work. You can't leave your house. You can't congregate. What the fuck is wrong with this country, man? The government is going to do what the people allow it to do. And ironically, in the United States of America, especially if you pay close attention to the Supreme Court, your government isn't allowed to do much. Okay? And that's the ideology we need to force through. We need to all swim around. My personal data, my phone number, my age, my location, my gender, my sex, my color, my marriage, none of nobody's business, man. It is just simply, and I shouldn't have to surrender that to join Facebook, nor should anyone else. And the government should create an online law. If you operate within the continental United States and its fucking subsidiaries or whatever, and its fucking territories, then your availability to information can't be conditioned that it must be given or you can't use their site. Of the people, by the people, for the people. Our government is not a government in the sense of a traditional government that you've seen worldwide. That's why they call America the Great Experiment. We are the only nation in the history that they teach us to which the government is supposed to bow to the people's will. Okay? Not because we enslave these people or they're our servants, but because they're there to protect what we say are our freedoms. Not the other way around. Right. And here's the thing, Norma. Why is it you don't see a Tucker Carlson or a Joe Rogan or Russell Brand or Ben Shapiro or Alex Jones or all of these fucking people with all of these fucking followers? Why aren't any one of them offering up the kind of the point of view that I'm giving? Why is it just some fucking goofball named Sergeant Friday that isn't even real? It's from the fucking TV show Dragnet. I was never even in the military. But my point is, where is it where all these fucking people with all of this fucking ability to make the world a better place? They're propagandists. We live in a world of propaganda. Everything that you're talking about that's not connected to the facts of the Idaho 4 is propaganda. And you've all become propagandists. You all wallow around in the bullshit that matters nothing except keeping you distracted. Meanwhile, look at what our law enforcement's doing to American citizens around the country. Right? I mean, people that know it best are the blacks. And now they're doing it to all of us. Monkey see, monkey do. They're making a monkey out of me and you. And where are all of these voices? Joe Rogan, 100 million followers. Why is Joe Rogan not suggesting that all these user agreements need to be fucking banned? Yeah, I know why they don't. They don't because they call it, you got to walk, what is that? You got to walk the straight and narrow. There's a reason they call it the straight and narrow, because so few people walk it. And here's the best fucking thing this shows you how stupid these people are. Rogan doesn't do anything to commit people to do something en masse. He just doesn't. He may bring it up and fucking tell you how crazy it is and how fucked up it is and how outraged you get because of what he's pointing out. I don't want you to be outraged. I want you to get together as a group and come together and demand these user agreements. Set up a system to which we can then start emailing people. We can start doing form letters, or we can start whatever. Make the voice heard. And it don't matter who you voted for. Right? Where's Joe Rogan doing that? He's not. He's pointing out just how fucked up it is what they're doing. All the censorship from Twitter. Thank God Elon bought it. We didn't need Elon Musk to win. And that's I can't say that loud enough. Some of us are going to go to jail. Look what happened to J6. But I don't want to get into that whole discussion on J6 though. But J6 isn't the way to do it. That's exactly the wrong way to do it. If you got 10 million people on the internet saying, I'm sorry there, Elon Musk, I'm sorry, but if you don't change your user agreement to protect my personal information and stop using my personal information, then we're out of here. But he's got you by the balls both ways. He'll sell you a blue check mark for $8 a month, and he'll also sell your personal information every month. He's the first one that would capitulate. He should be the first target about privacy rights and user agreements. And if you got to pay a couple of dollars a month to be a part of Facebook, then either be a part of Facebook or leave. Let these people live and die on the fucking market. And this is what amazes me with Americans. Everybody's like, oh, it's a free market. The free market doesn't mean they can violate what we have as free people. The demand that we have privacy. Okay? I demand, I insist, and we wrote it in our founding fucking documents. That doesn't give fucking Facebook the right to take it. Well, you agreed to it. Well, well, you can't use my service unless you agreed to it. Then you don't go to his website. You don't go to websites like that. You don't use Google. You don't use these places. You don't shop at Amazon. You tell Walmart, get rid of that fucking shit, or we're going to go to Target, or we're going to go to... I'm telling you, these organizations, this is a free market society. If you think that free market means that they can steal your personal information and put your fucking privacy in jeopardy, your credit card, your social security number, your livelihood, your life savings, your credit, in fucking jeopardy, or you can't use his fucking website. If you were told that, because that's the truth, you wouldn't fucking go to their website. Now, on the other hand, knowing that and living a life to protect that privacy, if you're told Facebook is $9 a month, you either join or you don't. Facebook will live and die on the free market. I've had discussions with people on this, and it's taken me a while to sort a lot of these things out, but that's exactly, you want to be a free, well, it's not a free market, they're a business, they should, no, I don't give a fuck if they're a business, right? If that one business can refuse to participate in a gay wedding, not pharmacist, that one baker, and wins his case in the Supreme Court, don't you fucking people get what that means? You can do that to all of these websites for privacy. And it's the company's choice. Well, we're not going to do that, then we're all leaving. Have a good fucking day. That's what the power of the internet is. This is the nuclear weapon of all nuclear weapons that's in the possession of everyday fucking people. And everyday fucking people turn into fucking everyday people. Even Joe Rogan's an everyday person. And none of those everyday people that could make a societal fucking difference for the better for every single fucking Tom, Dick, and Harry and Mary and Jane aren't doing any of the work to do that. And they would become much, 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 much more wealthy. Their wealth would grow exponentially if they were to do what I'm pointing out. It's sad. So, all right, folks, look, it's been a 3-hour stream. I've been doing 3-hour streams, and I'm a bit wackadoodle tired. I appreciate the visits from the people that were in here, and I think I'm going to call it a night. You know what I mean? It's one of those things from Your Ass Hurts News Network, and we need to start targeting Joe Rogan and Tucker Carlson. We need to start targeting these guys, demanding that they start doing something for the good of society. And start showing their fucking people that we're not sheep. We don't want to be outraged because of what the fucking government did to us. We want you to help establish our voice so that our voice can concentrate. So the government has no fucking ambiguity. Stop what you're fucking doing. This is what we expect. This is what we want. Same thing from all your websites and all your businesses. Stop what the fuck you're doing. It's no longer acceptable. And we yeah, but see, that's the beauty about a user agreement. I don't care who you voted for, or what gender you think you are, or what religion you fucking worship. Keeping your personal information private and protected. Nobody can disagree with that. All right, folks, I'm glad you came in. I apologize. We had the wackadoodle fucking Jeff come in here under 3 different names, and we had to ban the ones we could. So, as to lack of what is today? I got to be to the dentist tomorrow, too. You people are keeping me up. Boy, you think you'd let me get some sleep. And we can change it one blue wrench at a time. We are the Blue Wrench Army. And with that, I will end this and remind you, thank you for tuning in to Your Ass Hurts News Network. This is your host, Sergeant Friday. I'm going to sign off. You all have a good night, and we'll see you again soon.